Cawood, no wins, 1 loss on the year, beaten 20-14 by Rockcastle County last time out. Corbin lost 47-0 to the Admirals of Danville. We suspect, as we were given earlier, the starting lineup for Corbin in the football game offensively. At quarterback, number 5, Pat McCowan. In the backfield, number 11, Chris Hammock, number 31, Matt Bargo, and number 38, Trey Wyatt. He'll be at fullback. The ends will be number 85, Mike Crowley, number 44, Shane Romines. The center, number 56, Dwayne Evans. And the guards, number 76, Joey Petrie, and number 59, Shane Creekmore. The tackles, number 75, Andy Robertson, and number 78, Nolan Devon. And Philip Russell, tell us how they're going to go defensively here for the Hounds.
Defensively, at one end will be Trey White, number 38. Number 44 at tackle will be Shane Romines. At the nose guard will be John David Myers. At one tackle will be Andy Robertson. At the other end will be Dwayne Evans. The linebackers this evening, it will be at one linebacker, David Stevens. The other will be the senior leadership back there, Shane Creekmore. In the defensive backfield will be Chris Hammock, Jeremy Moran, Patrick McCowan, and Dennis Jones. And it's a very talented, speedy defensive backfield, Dave. Last week, though, people will say, what are you talking about, 47-0 with Danville? But you're looking at pure speed in Danville, and we're not going to face any more teams like that this year. Danville is an exception to the rule. That's the fastest high school football team I have seen. You know, you and I did Union College football a few years ago. I don't remember seeing some college football teams that had that much speed.
No, I would have to agree, and I'll tell you something else, too, Philip. I really thought that when Corbin opened the second half up and was driving the football and made the pitch that was picked off by Danville that they took back for the touchdown, had Corbin been able to drive that on into the end zone for a score, I'm not saying Corbin would have won the football game. They would have still been down like 27-7, but I think that football game score-wise would have been different, and I think that the fans would have seen a different second half of football. Corbin will be the receiving team. To kick it away will be number 88, Ben Lovely. Sophomore kicker back to receive for the Hounds. We see Pat McCowan back there, wide to the left side. The middle of the field is Matt Gibson. Up here to the right is Matt Bargo, and to the left, Chris Hammock. Settle in, get ready for Friday night high school football action right here on the Sports Leader WCTT. Cawood in the red uniforms, Corbin in the road white uniforms. And there's the kick. It's going to be fielded, it looks like, by Matt Gibson. He'll take it back at the 10, up to the 15, to the 20 to the left side, to the 25, cuts it up to the 30, down the sideline to the 35, and a flag on the play.
We're going to get one of two things. It's either going to be a holding or an illegal block, a clip. We picked it up right.
It looked like someone got Romines in the back, or Romines got someone else in the back.
It's going to go either way.
We'll have to wait and see. The return was to the 35-yard line. It is against Corbin.
We won't say the young man's name, but in the area where it happened it happened right about the, looks like the 40-yard line, 35-yard line.
So a nice return, though, by Matt Gibson. Moves the football all the way to the 40, but the penalty is going to take it back.
Matt's got good hands, Dave, and the thing about it with Matt last week, he kind of had a little fumbleitis there a couple of times on some punts and some things like that, but I think that a lot was the nerves, and he's a junior. He's caught quite a few balls. He'll be all right.
Yeah, opening game jitters, and he settled down after handled that one very, very well. After the penalty, the ball goes back to just shy of the 20-yard line. Corbin will line up and started off in the wishbone with Pat McCowan at quarterback, underneath Evans the center. He's rolling to the right on the keep. He cuts it up to the 30. He is at the 35, across to about the 38-yard line. Nice gainer for the first down for Pat McCowan.
18-yard run by Pat McCowan. Just an excellent play. What he did, Dave, is just roll out to the right side of the field, tuck the ball, and take off. It was no fake whatsoever. It's just sure speed on the corner. And that time, Romines was able to kick out, make a good block. Bargo came through and sealed the hole.
Corbin will work off the right hash marks this time, working at the 38-yard line, 1st and 10 from there. McCowan will hand it off this time right up to Trey Wyatt. Wyatt smash mouth football right across the 45 to about the 46-yard line. That'll be a couple of 2 or 3 yards shy of another Corbin first down to bring up second down and a long 3. With 11:10 showing on the first period clock. No score, but Corbin moving the football well here in their opening series. Corbin in the backfield with Bargo and Hammock at the backs. The fullback will be Trey White. Goes on the left side of Hammock. Big hole for him. Crosses the 50, and that hole is closed off, though, down at about the 48. Then a penalty flag, and that could be a late hit on Cawood.
It's either a late hit or a
face mask.
Face mask, it is.
And it is the mask. So a nice gainer that time by Corbin's Chris Hammock, and we'll get some extra yardage tacked on here, and Corbin moving deeply on their first drive inside Cawood Trojan territory.
Well, a pickup of another 7 yards by Chris Hammock. We've had 3 offensive plays of 7, 7, and 18, and he's kind of mixing it up a little bit. That's
3 different players carrying the football.
Third man to carry it. 15-yard penalty, big penalty.
Spot is going to be on the 33-yard line. Corbin will go back to the wishbone. Matt Bargo, the right halfback. The left halfback this time is Matt Gibson, the fullback Trey Wyatt. The ends are in time. McCowan underneath center. Gives it off to Bargo, and he goes straight up the middle for about 4 yards. Good first down gainer for Corbin's Matt Bargo. Moves the football across the 30 to the 28.
Well, good pickup that time. Matthew looked like he covered the ball up a little bit better that time. He'd been running a little bit up, straight up, and I think Danville kind of straightened him out a little bit right there and brought him down. He ran the ball real hard that time. A good run by Matt.
Corbin lines them up straight across in the backfield. Hammock, Wyatt, and Bargo again. This one on the counter goes to Chris Hammock, bouncing off players. He finds a little running room, moves his way down to the 25-yard line. Piled up there over on the left side of the field by Cawood Trojan players. That'll be short of the Corbin first down, but it will bring up 3rd and short.
Well, a pickup of looks like about 4 yards that time by Hammock as he bounced off and got to look like about the other yard really on his own.
9:55 and counting down, first period of play. Corbin facing now a 3rd and a long 1.5 yards for the first down yardage. Handoff is going to go to the fullback Wyatt. He's got the first down to the 20.
That's the 3rd first down of the game here on this first opening drive at the 9:39 mark in the first quarter.
Yeah, and Corbin's offensive line just really pushing Cawood off the ball, giving the Corbin runners lots of room to get through. Give them credit. The ball just short of the 20-yard line. Let's call it the 21. This field doesn't have individual yardage markers, so I may not be right on it all the time, but we'll be pretty close.
We'll be in the ballpark.
We'll be around it somewhere. Pat McCowan on the keep to the left side this time as he bootlegs it out, and that's going to go for nothing, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Well, we missed a block on the other side, Dave. It was a naked, almost like a naked bootleg, and as he pulled out to go around, one of our young men missed the block over there, and he was naked.
And that's the first offensive play for Corbin that hasn't worked out as they would have wanted it to. That'll bring up now 2nd down and a bit more than 10, about 10.5 yards for first down yardage for Corbin. They'll have to get down near the 10-yard line to get the first down. Here's Pat McCowan. This time he rolls to the left side, lots and lots of room. He cuts it down to the 15, down to the 10, down to the 5. He goes down at the 5-yard line, just about lost the football, but manages to hang on to it and picks up the first down, and it'll be 1st and goal from the 5 for the Corbin Redhounds.
Another approximately 17-yard gain by Patrick McCowan, and a first down once again. A good block that time by the left guard by Corbin, which was Andy Robertson. He pulled out and pancaked the defensive corner.
8.5 to go, first period. 1st and goal from the 5 for Corbin. Hammock around the left from the left hash mark. Dives into the end zone. Touchdown for Chris Hammock and the Corbin Redhounds.
Chris that time once again went over that left side of the offensive line, led by Andy Robertson, and Andy opened up the hole once again and just kind of Chris just grabbed a hold of his jersey and went right on in behind him. A good pickup by Hammock.
So now we will get to see, I suppose, unless Corbin should go for 2 for the first time this season on an extra point, we'll get to see the leg of Gus Hauser. Gus, 5'9" junior. There's the hold by McCowan. The kick, long enough, straight through, and Corbin goes on top 7-0 with 8:21 to go in the first quarter of play. We'll be back, and the Hounds will kick it off to Cawood. This is Red Hound football on the Sports Leader, WCTT.
There's a town in western New Mexico where the people are known for their opinions. So we went to Gallup to find out which fast food deal these folks like best.
By a margin of 10-1, I like the Car Hop Combo at Sonic.
After a random sampling, I chose the Car Hop Combo.
They told us they liked the home-cooked taste of Sonic's Car Hop Combo. A famous Sonic burger, fries, and a medium drink. Right now, just $2.49.
Qualitatively speaking, it's awesome.
Well, Corbin goes on top, 7-0 with 8 minutes, 21 seconds left to go here in the first period of play. They'll be kicking it away to the Trojans of Cawood. That one went 81 yards on the drive.
How about the strong leg that time of Gus Hauser?
Oh, he had that one over in the pine trees behind the goalpost.
He sure did. He put the foot into that. It's good to see that young man out. He's a basketball player. Of course, he's from good stock. His father is an ex-professional Miami Dolphins end. I believe he played for Don Shula down there in Miami, and he's got some good stock in him. It's good to see Gus out. He's on the basketball floor, and everybody will remember Gus Hauser. I think he's 0 on the basketball floor. Is that
yes, and an outstanding young man. I know I've said that before, even back during basketball season, but just an outstanding young gentleman. Hauser will kick it away, gets a high kick, gets a lot of foot under it, giving Corbin time to get down. It's taken by number 11, Anthony Middleton. Middleton trying to thread his way upfield. Slips one tackler, but can't slip a second tackler, which is
David Jones.
David Jones.
6 foot 155 senior, and that senior was down in a hurry. Looked like Matt Bargo was going to wrap him up real quick, but he kind of ran through his arms just at the last moment. Jones came up and closed well.
That's good kickoff by Gus Hauser, too. He got that ball high in the air. Plenty of time for the Corbin covers to get there, and really not a lot of room for the return man, Middleton, to come out of there with it for the Cawood Trojans. Cawood will start at quarterback, number 7, Jacob Saylor. He's the senior coach's son.
How long has he been here?
I don't know. He's been here longer than I've been here. He's got the eye lined up behind him. He's going to pitch it out to the right side. Running out with the football is number 21 for the Trojans that time. That's Keith Baker. Baker moves it up to right around the 26-yard line.
Once again, the standard Tim Saylor offense. Quick pitch right, quick pitch left, get it on the, open them up on the outside, and also all of a sudden watch the belly. Big fullback will be busting you right up, real quick. And also, like Cotton said, you've got to watch the trickery of Tim Saylor. He'll go to the well anytime and pull out something.
This time, number 26, Brent Johnson, will go wide to the right side. Once again, the I formation behind Saylor on a 2nd down and 5. Saylor will pitch it out to the left side this time. It's taken by number 29, Denny Curtis. And Curtis has very little running room, if any.
As Hammock comes up strong to close from his defensive halfback position, and just an excellent read that time by Chris Hammock. That's the speed that we see that Hammock has. And, like again, I hate to keep harping on this, but last week we kind of got lost in the shuffle, seeing all that Danville speed out there into the actual speed we do have. We've got defensive backs back there that can come up and close in a hurry. Of course, led by number 5 out there, Patrick McCown.
Yeah, who stole many bases in baseball this year and never got caught stealing. 2 go wide to the right this time for Cawood, facing a 3rd down and long. Saylor, he'll throw the football at any time. He's going to throw. He's looking to the right. He's got a man over there, but he throws it on the middle on the play action. His pass is caught by Conley Cotton. Cotton goes down very close to the 1st down marker at around the 30-yard line. It's according to where the spot's going to be.
As Moran came up to make the stop in the close, it looks like we're going to have an official's timeout to measure. That time he flooded the right side, if you'll be able to see on Sunday night. He flooded the right side completely and drug the end on this side completely across, and he was wide open.
Yeah, sent a couple of those fast wide receivers long to the right and sent his end right across the middle and was able to get close to the 1st down. It is going to be a 1st down for the Cawood Trojans. So a pretty good defensive stand by Corbin, but they don't hold, and Cawood does pick up the 1st down yardage. So with 5 minutes to go here in the first period of play, Corbin on top 7-0, but the Trojans have a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Working with it from the right hash mark. Saylor moves in there to quarterback. He's got the I formation behind him, 2 wide to the left. That's the far side of the field. Saylor will give it off in there to number 6, Denny Farmer, and Farmer is wrapped up after a gain of a couple of yards toward the right.
They've got him listed as a running back, but in the position he lines up at is really at a fullback, and he's a load. I don't have any stats at all on him, but he's a load. I remember that young man over the years. He's a senior. It seems like he's another one with Saylor that's been back there for a period of time at number 6.
Yeah, we'll try to check him in the roster they gave us doesn't have any heights and weights, but he's a big player. He'll line up once again there, fullback again. The tailback will be number 29, Denny Curtis. Saylor, the quarterback. Underneath the center, he'll give it to the tailback, Curtis. He's got 2, 3, 4 yards, 5 yards right up the middle. as he moves his way to the 40-yard line. That'll be short of the first down. They have to make the 42. That'll bring up third down and a couple for Cawood.
As David Stevens is coming off the bottom of the pile, along with Shane Creekmore, and big number 56 for the Hounds is Dwayne Evans. Evans is 6 foot, 210-pound senior, and he filled the hole real well that time.
Yes, he did. The offensive center moving up to help make the tackle. So once again, Cawood facing a third down and a couple of yards. And once again, they send two wide to the right side. Once again, it's going to be Johnson and Middleton. High formation behind the quarterback, Saylor. He's underneath center. He is going to fake it to the tailback and roll to the left. He's looking to throw, dumps it over the middle. He's got his man down there, but he drops the football. Up at midfield, that was Denny Farmer.
Well, we talked about him running the football. Catching the football, I think he was so wide open, he looked around and he didn't hear any footsteps. You know, sometimes if you don't hear the footsteps, you know you're so wide open, you're so anxious to catch the football and turn and run.
Yeah, no reason to have dropped that one. I would have to agree, but he did, which is a good break for the Corbin Redhounds. So now the Cawood Trojans will have to punt it away. McCowan and Gibson back to receive. Number 21 on the punt, that's Keith Baker. Ball is going to drop at the 25 and takes a Corbin bounce before Cawood downs it right on the 25-yard line. So it's 1st and 10 for Corbin from their own 25 with 3:07 to go in the first period. The Hounds on top here 7-0.
Davis, Patrick brings his forces back out on the field. I'll tell you someone I've been pretty impressed with in that first series was the fullback play of 5'10", 203-pound junior Trey White, number 38. You know, Trey has kind of bounced around in his football career. He's an offensive center. He was a guard. He's played different positions, but I think he's found a home there at that fullback spot.
And that was a spot that Corbin needed desperately to fill, too, as Wyatt moves back in there at fullback. Gibson and Bargo, the halfbacks. It's going to be McCowan. He runs it to the left. He's at the 35. He is knocked out of bounds at the 40. And you can see Coach Cotton Adams over there after the gentleman who did not deliver the block that he needed.
Yes, it was. If all he had to do was seal just one time there on the sideline, Patrick make that quick cut on the inside, and he was gone. Good pickup, though, of about 20, looks like about 20 yards on that carry.
Yeah, so a big gain there for Pat McCowan, and Corbin has another first down. This time from just across the 40-yard line. They're on 40. Handoff goes to Bargo. Bargo, he's got 4. He's got 5.
Good hard-nosed running that time by Matt Bargo.
He doesn't come down easy, does he?
No, he doesn't. Listen, I've watched that young man. I'm going to sound like Burley a little bit, but I'm kind of proud of that young man. He's kind of grown up in my home and around and about way, and you know, he's a load, 6'1", 190-pound sophomore. We're going to hear a lot more about that young one.
Didn't get exactly the spot I thought he was going to go on the 44-yard line. Looks like McCown will turn, give it in there to Trey Wyatt. Wyatt's got some room as he bounces off tacklers and picks up a Corbin first down across midfield down to the 47-yard line of Cawood.
You know, something deceptive about Trey White, he's a fullback. And a lot of times on your fullbacks, you don't look at him as so much speed, but as brute to deliver that first blow. But he's got quickness that will dazzle you as a fullback. I mean, he gets to that line quick.
Well, you know, like you pointed out, there is a lot more quickness on this Corbin team than showed up against Danville. Almost a broken play there. Finally goes on the inside handoff to Chris Hammock, who manages to get about a yard off of it.
Well, that was a counter play, and that time the play was designed for misdirection. And what happened was we just had a little slip up there in the handoff. Hammock came off, and McCown was able to get back to him for about a yard and a half pickup.
Well, a yard and a half pickup's better than a yard and a half loss.
Absolutely.
1 minute, 15 seconds to go first period. The Hounds up 7-0. They've got the football now, 2nd down and 9. Inside Trojan territory, here goes McCowan heading to the right side this time. He's got a hole. He's down to the 40, crashes his way on down to about the 37-yard line. Pat McCowan really running the football well.
I tell you what, Joey Petrie that time just pancaked that defensive corner. He's 6'3", 215 pounds. He's the guard on that side that time, and Joey pulled out and just Patrick cut off perfect for another Redhound first down. 7 so far in the young 50 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Corbin in the backfield. Hammock and Bargo, the halfbacks. Fullback is Trey Wyatt. McCowan, the quarterback, gives it off to Bargo. Big hole for him. He's at the 25. He's at the 20. He's going to go. There goes Matt Bargo in for the touchdown for Matt Bargo and the Corbin Redhounds. It'll go 37 yards for the TD.
37-yard touchdown run by that sophomore back. 6 foot, 190-pound Matt Vargo. And did you see the cut he made there at the end? He gave the leg and took it away. That's something that we've been able to see in the younger years of Matthew Vargo, is his way of giving you something and taking it away real quick.
Gus Hauser, number 2, comes on to attempt the extra point for Corbin. The snap, the kick, and it is good. And with 36 seconds to go in the first period, Corbin on top of Cawood 14-0. When we come back, the Hounds will kick it off to the Trojans. This is Red Hound football on Southeast Kentucky Sports Leader, WCTT.
Suave, passe, okay, cliche. Obvious, studious, frivolous, what a wuss. Speechless. So you've never done nothing till you do the full tilt taste of Diet Dude. Obsessed, possessed, impressed, no contest.
Trying to bounce back from a shell-shocking last Saturday night at Lexington Tates Creek when the Hounds were beaten 47-0 by the Danville Admirals. I think maybe the attitude of Corbin is, let's win all the rest of them and see Danville somewhere down the line, maybe in the playoffs here. And they've certainly gotten back on track so far in this one, leading 14-0, but we are only in the first period with 36 seconds left to go and in.
Well, we can meet Danville once again. It'll be in the playoffs. It'll be in the semifinals of the playoffs. So, you know, who knows? Like that one TV commercial goes, who knew?
Anthony Middleton will be back to receive. Also, number 21, Keith Howard, and Denny Curtis. It's going to go to Middleton on the right side. Threads his way to the 20, right up the middle of the field. Gets a few blockers up to about the 27-yard line.
Coming up to make the stop is Jamie Yance, also a center at 5'7", 177-pound senior. And it's good to see Jamie back out playing football this year. You know, Jamie's another one. These kids, I mean, we'll just keep harping on it, but Jamie has got that deceptive speed. Of course, he's a baseball player. He's another one of those baseball players, a big first baseman there for Coach Randall Saggers and Corbin Red Hounds. But speed is one thing that really Corbin does have. It's just deceptive speed.
Well, the Trojans have it on their second offensive possession of the football game. Conley Cotton moves in there at fullback. Tailback is number 29, Denny Curtis. And Saylor's going to keep rolling to the left, throwing from the left. He's got a man, Middleton. It is caught, but he's out of bounds.
Heads-up play that time by Patrick McCowan. McCowan looked like he was late getting there toward the football, but, you know, Patrick made an excellent defensive play. I can remember last week in the ball game. I think it was the first quarter as Patrick went up over the young man for Danville and took the ball. Do you remember that play as he batted it down? Well, there's another time to show that his closing speed.
And that's going to end the first quarter of play with that pass attempt by the Cawood Trojans. We'll be back with period number 2 in just a moment. Corbin's on top, 14-0. This is Red Hound football on the sports leader, WCTT.
Reggie White is a large and powerful man.
6'6", 295.
Reggie can clean and jerk your entire family,
including your dog.
Reggie wears Nike cross trainers when he works out.
Size 14.
If Reggie sees you working out in some other shoe, it would upset him greatly.
I'm sensitive that way.
And remember, Reggie is a large and powerful man.
I prefer statuesque. Excuse me, don't you have some shopping to do?
Since 1908, Catalyst Coal has been serving Southeast Kentucky with a tradition of quality. With an employment of 373 and an annual payroll of $16 million, Catalyst Coal is helping keep our economy strong and growing. Catalyst Coal has over the past 3 years maintained an accident rate of well below the national average for lost time accidents as a coal corporation. This year, Catalyst Coal will ship 3.2 million tons of coal, thus ensuring growth and prosperity. Catalyst Coal, building a tradition of quality in Southeast Kentucky.
Well, after the first quarter of play, 14-0. Corbin on top of the Cawood Trojans. Cawood getting ready to start the second period. Second down and 10 from their own 28-yard line. The team in red right off the right hash mark. Saylor back to throw. Throws across the middle. Picked off. Intercepted.
Oh, great play that time by the Hounds defensive back coming up, David Jones. A the senior halfback, 6'1", 155 pounds.
And he picks it off, Phillip, right on the 33-yard line. So David Jones on the interception.
Misdirection that time. Did you see the rollout on that one, Dave? He came to the left side over here and rolled around to the right. David stayed at home.
And if he had stayed home, it would have been big trouble for Corbin because Saylor had that thing on target. He just didn't expect the Corbin defender to be there. So Corbin rushes the offense on the field. They're working right from the middle. They gave it 5. Mike Crowley splits out to the left side. At the end, it's going to be Eddie Barton in at quarterback. He's trying to run and gets maybe about a yard around to the left.
Well, this is good now for Eddie. Let's get him in here now. Of course, we baptized him under fire last week against the #1 team in the state.
Started off in a rough spot.
Yes, he did, but let's get him now. He's got a 14-point lead. Let him go and get his feet a little wet now. Pick up of 1.
Crowley goes off for Corbin. Number 44, Shane Romines, checks in. Redhounds facing 2nd down and 9. Barton at quarterback is going to pitch it out to Hammock. Heading around the right side, cuts it to the right sideline to the 30. Hit and dropped.
Hammock that time, Cawood did a good job of stringing it out, and Hammock was able to follow his blockers and head toward the sideline, able to pick up about, looks like 4 yards.
Yeah, just using pure speed that time to pick up 4 yards. That'll bring up now 2nd down and 4 yards to go for the first down for Corbin. The Hounds will move it over to the right hash mark now. Trey Wyatt, the fullback. Matt Bargo, the left halfback. Can't pick up the right one this time. It's going to go to Bargo. He's got the first down. He's at the 20, trying to bull his way forward, but can't, and is dropped on the 20-yard line, but that's enough for another Redhound first downer.
Matthew that time just lowered his head and got the next 3 yards really on his own sure speed. And
with 2 Trojans
and hanging on him. Yes, he did. And I tell you, Matthew is a very, very strong upper body young man.
Matt Gibson goes wide to the left. The near side of the field. Corbin working off those left hashes. Eddie Barton, the quarterback, will give it off to Bargo. Bargo at the 15. Bargo at the 10. Rolled out of bounds by a host of Trojans after a nice gain. Almost another first down, and could be for Corbin. We'll have to check the spot for you.
I believe it is. It's going to be close.
Boy, Cawood just can't stop him.
He's just running over people. They're going to go on the sideline, but if they spot the ball where that official's foot is, it's a first down.
Clock shows 10:04 to go. We're in the first half of play. 14 zilch. Corbin on top of Cawood as the chain gang comes out to take a measurement. Good crowd on hand here. A great Friday night for high school football. It doesn't get much better than this.
If it's short, David, it's short by the nose of the football.
You know, normally this time of the year, Phillip, you're having to put up with, 80, 85-degree weather right now.
First down.
And
yes, it is. It's an excellent
down.
night. Hey, down here, and especially here in the mountains of Cawood, in Harlan County, you know, I've been over here a number of times in football games about this time of year, and I don't remember in early September it being this cool.
Well, that fog may move in after a while, though, out of the mountains of Lynch, and stays foggy in Lynch all the time. It's like Soldier Field, Lynch is.
I believe Coach Saylor wants to discuss this.
And I think he does, so let's get some sponsor time in here with the timeout. 10:04 to go in the first half, 14-0. Corbin on top of Cawood. We'll be right back. This is Redhound Football on your sports leader, WCTT.
At First National Bank of Corbin, there's a good reason we're the strongest financial institution in the region. Complete dedication to serving our customers and delivering quality financial products for your checking, car, boat, and home loan needs. First National customers know they can expect innovative products with old-fashioned service. Look to First National Bank of Corbin for all your needs, because when it comes to banking, we're at your service.
We are listening to Redhound Football on WCTT AM and WCTT FM in Corbin. Dave King along with Phillip Russell for this game. Burley Foley is not with us, even when Burley is back as the cuddle analyst. We'll be having Phillip roaming the sideline with our roving microphone. Haven't, since the Sloanster, Bill Sloan left and went to Florida, we've had a vacate in that spot. Phillip's going to be filling that for us and also fill in as color when Burley Foley's unable to be here. So appreciate having Phillip along. Corbin lines up, 1st and 10, power I. Goes off to Bargo to the 5. Bargo touchdown
That's his
for Matt
nose
Bargo
down
and the
that
Corbin
time.
Red Hounds.
Absolutely. He stuck his nose and smelled the end zone all the way out on an 11-yard touchdown run at the 9:58 mark here in the second quarter. You know, Matthew Bargo is, I haven't had a chance to add this up right now real quick, but on the ground approximately 50, let's say 60 yards right now.
So Corbin doing to Cawood what Danville did to Corbin last Friday night. Gus Hauser on for the PAT. It is good, and Corbin goes on top 21-0 with 9:58 to go in the first half of play. We'll be back, and Corbin will once again kick away to Cawood. This is Red Hound football on your sports leader, WCTT.
No matter what the part, foreign or domestic, see Harold or Kenny at Davis Salvage. Why pay top dollar for new parts when good used parts can do the job? If Davis Salvage doesn't have the part you need, they'll help you find your part on the nationwide locator service. Phone Davis Salvage at 528-3951 or toll free at 1-800-442-7876. Davis Salvage on the Falls Highway in Corbin.
Well, another Matt Bargo touchdown. He has a couple. One from 37 yards out, one from 11 yards out. Chris Hammock scored the first Corbin TD from 5 yards away. That was on the opening drive, which went for 81 yards, and Corbin is perfect on point after attempts by Gus Hauser and lead it here 21-0 over Cawood.
6 carries for Matthew Bargo early in the ball game for 69 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Whoa. Hauser to kick it away for the Red Hounds. And it's going to be fielded by number 29. That'll be Curtis.
And who is it on the stop?
And
Matthew Bargo.
He's dropped right on the 20 by Bargo, too. Not much place to go there for Denny Curtis. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for Cawood.
Did you drive the bus tonight, David?
He might have. He might. He might have made the starting lineup out for us there. Willard Ferris gave it to us, but I'm just betting Willard didn't do that.
No, Matt might have made it down. I tell you, it's good to see these young men bounce back. And like we talked about early in the pregame, these kids, I saw those glassy look in those eyes, and they're hungry.
Now Cawood's going to go to their passing attack. They've got one back there, and it's Saylor from the shotgun. He's looking to throw. Now he's going to have to scramble and run. Ducks and runs to the 25 and is brought down at the 26-yard line. Little shotgun action there for the Cawood Trojans. Number 44, Conley Cotton, the fullback, stayed back for some protection around the quarterback.
I tell you what, it's showing
pass all the way or run one.
It was, and to show the speed of that defensive line that time, John David Myers, from his defensive nose guard position, came up to make the stop.
Well, Tim Saylor has been known over the years to adjust his game plan to the way the game goes. And that time we saw him just line Saylor a few steps back behind the center of the shotgun, and they'll do the same thing this time. 2 wide to the left, 1 wide to the right. That'll be the far side of the field. Man in motion from left to right. Saylor takes the snap and looks to throw. He's got that man over the middle, and he drops the football. Up on the 30-yard line, number 26 on the drop, Brett Johnson, who came in motion from left to right that time.
Hammock read the motion all the way around, as Jones, also number 22 for the Red Hounds, came up. Good double coverage that time, the Hounds with Chris Hammock and David Jones.
Once again, if you're Saylor, though, you have to be wondering. He's had a couple of passes that probably, even though that wouldn't have went, I don't think for that big of a gain, should have been caught. New players checking in for the Trojans, who now face 3rd down and 5 with 8 minutes, 36 seconds to go in the first half. They'll send Johnson and Middleton wide to the left side. I formation lined up behind the quarterback, Saylor. Long time, takes the snap and rolls out to the right. He's got pressure. Now he's going to dump it off over the middle to his fullback, Conley. Conley is going to go down short of the first down at about the 28-yard line.
Good read that time by the linebacker. Who has that play is Shane Creekmore of number 59. Shane, the senior leadership in that linebacker core back there, read the play perfect and brought the man down for a yard off of that first down.
Conley Cotton, the receiver that time. Only could call him Cotton Conley because of Cotton Adams, but his name is Conley Cotton. Number 21 to punt it away, Keith Baker. It's a high punt, not that long. It's going to hit, though. It takes a nice Cawood bounce all the way down to the 25-yard line. It goes down there, and Corbin will have it 1st and 10 at the 25. A good run of luck on the bounce that time for the Trojans.
Dave, I'm trying to keep stats here, too, and I don't think I've missed any. I've only got one Cawood first down here in the first half. Is that
I think that's right. I think that's right.
The Hounds are leading in that category also, 9-1 in first downs. So the ground game, we haven't thrown past yet, have we not?
Not yet.
Haven't even put the ball up in the air as we see once again Patrick McCowan in the quarterback.
And we see Michael Crowley this time going wide to the right side. Wishbone lined up behind Pat McCowan at quarterback, and McCowan will keep it this time. He ducks his head. He's got at the 40. He's at the 45, midfield, and crosses his way almost to the 45-yard line of the Cawood Trojans before being brought down.
29-yard gain that time by Pat McCowan. One man really to beat, and he kind of got the angle on him. Just an excellent, excellent run that time by Patrick McCowan. 29 yards on the carry, and another Red Hound first down.
Corbin is really fooling them on what it looks to be a counter play, but then McCowan is just keeping the football and going with him himself and doing a great job of hitting the holes. And, of course, the offensive line doing a great job of making the holes for him. McCowan, again, this time he will hand it off. Not much room for Chris Hammock, but he did bounce off of a couple of tacklers to maybe get a couple of yards on that first down, maybe even 3 yards.
Good read that time by Chris Hammock. He took the initial lick at the line of scrimmage, was able to bounce off and pick up, it looks like, about 3 to 4 yards, and we got a Red Hound timeout.
Cotton Adams seeing something he doesn't like. He calls for the TO here with 7:11 to go. First half of play. 21 on the boards for Corbin, none yet for Cawood. We'll be right back to Cawood High. This is Red Hound football on WCTT.
Hometown banking. Friends you know and trust. Hometown banking. Full service is a must. A kind of trust you come to know. Together we can grow. Cumberland Valley National Bank. What your bank should be.
Member FDIC.
Corbin on top here, 21-0, and as we always do throughout the football season, we'll try to keep you updated on other scores from other games around the area. It is Williamsburg 20, MC Napier nothing at halftime right now, and Rockcastle County leads Pulaski Southwestern 7-0. Here's a handoff to Bargo, crashes across the 40 down to the 39-yard line. Short of the first down, well short by about 3 yards. That'll bring up third. And for one of the few times in the game here for Corbin, 3rd and long.
3-yard pickup that time of Matt Bargo, running right behind the big likes of 76, Joey Petrie. It's good to see the offensive line. A lot of times today, we're sitting here watching this. Once again, the folks can see this Sunday night, is if you watch those red jerseys on the initial, they start backing up. And that's the drive of those legs of the offensive line.
This time, Corbin will send Matt Gibson wide to the right. Pat McCowan will stay at quarterback. And McCowan is going to give it off to Chris Hammock. He's got a hole, and he's got the first down. Squirts right across the 35 to the 33. Another Red Hound first down, so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line for Corbin.
Pick up the 7 yards on the carry by Chris Hammock, and a Red Hound first down, the 11th first down of the first half at the 6:06 mark.
Well, Cawood hasn't held yet, have they? We've not punted the whole football game. Chris Hammock needs a rest. Lord knows he did enough punting against Danville. Handoff goes to Bargo. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage, can't get free. Manages maybe to get back to the line of scrimmage, which is at near the 34-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 for Corbin. As that time, Cawood able to get through that offensive line with some good penetration.
No gain whatsoever that time, and really looked like a mix-up in the blocking assignments of the backs. We kind of had a little mix-up in the backfield that time.
Number 23 for Corbin checks out. That's Mondo Sima. Corbin will line it up in the power eye right set this time as McCowan pitches out to the right to Hammock, gets a nice block and cuts it down on the 30, then squirts on down to about the 25-yard line. That'll be short of the first down, but still a nice gainer of 8, maybe even more on that second down play. I didn't see who made that block for him right at the line of scrimmage, but certainly got him that running room, Philip.
I missed it on that side, too, but it was a quick pop and by the offensive lineman that pulled on that time, and his pickup of 8 yards.
So Corbin working toward the right hash marks, looking at a third down and a couple with 4:40 left to go. First half of play, the Hounds lead 21-0. McCown gives it off to Bargo. He's got the first down inside the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Matthew Bargo on a pickup of about 5 more yards on the carry. It looks like it. Yes, it was. First down, the Red Hounds. 12th first down of the first half.
So Corbin lines it back up on the line of scrimmage with another first down under their belts. 85, Michael Crowley, wide to the left. The wishbone lined up now behind the quarterback, who is still Pat McCowan. Fakes to the first man, keeps it himself down to the 15, down to the 10, down to the 5, trying for the end zone, and he is in there. Nope, they're going to say he's down on the 1-inch line.
Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. The man is spinning. How can you see that? Oh, goodness.
Yeah, that should have been a touchdown, I feel, but you're not going to argue when you're ahead 21-0.
No, I'm not going to argue a bit on that one, but
I think the kid deserved his touchdown that time.
He earned that one. Cotton, let him carry it in. He earned every bit of that one. Let's see, 10.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me a bit to see McCown just sneak this one right on.
All right, 18-yard run and another Red Hound first down.
So with 4 minutes to go in the first half, Corbin knocks on the door again on top here, 21-0. Having no problem here in the first half with the Cawood Trojans. Pat McCowan just a bit shy of that touchdown. He's going to give it off back there to his fullback, Trey Wyatt, and he's got the TD easily, and the Hounds go on top now by a score of 27-0.
This time was just sure power by Trey White, 1 yard out, and I don't think you're going to keep too many times Trey from that end zone. He can smell it once again. He is 5'10", 203 pounds solid.
Not like me. I'm 210, but I'm not that solid. And here's Gus Hauser, and he puts her through the uprights. He's 4 for 4 in the game. He makes it look so easy, and Corbin goes on top 28-0 with 3:48 to go in the first half of play. So we will take another break and come back, and Corbin will kick it away to Cawood. This is Red Hound football on their sports leader, WCTT.
At Corbin Materials, we deliver ready-mix concrete throughout Laurel, Knox, Whitley, Clay, and Bell counties. What most people don't know is we deliver 750-gallon and 1,000-gallon septic tanks throughout all of southeastern Kentucky. We also sell decorative gravel, too. We're Corbin Materials. Call us collect at 528-7362. For septic tanks, sand, gravel, or ready-mix concrete, think of Corbin Materials first.
Well, new scores coming in. Lincoln County leads Clay County 7-3. That's in the second period of play. Somerset and Russell County no score in the first quarter. Once again, Williamsburg 20, MC Napier nothing at halftime. Castle over Pulaski Southwestern 7-0 in the first period of that football game. We'll try to keep you updated on these scores and get your finals if we can before we leave the airwaves, as we do each and every year here on your sports leader. WCTT, Hauser to kick it away. Gets the foot to it. It's going to be dropped back there by number 91 for the Cawood Trojans. That's Sam Smith. Then they pick it up and make a pretty good return out of it all the way up to the 32-yard line.
Have you ever noticed that, Dave? Every time you have a muff on a kickoff, something like that, it can, instead of turning it, you go one or two ways. You're either going to pick up a lot more yardage than normal, or it's going to turn bad for you. And, you know, everybody is set up on that kickoff team in lanes, and once there's a breakdown of any kind, sometimes the kids will go to the football a lot quicker than normal.
Well, this time both wide receivers go wide to the right side. That'll be Middleton and number 26, Johnson. I formation behind Jacob Saylor, the coach's son, the senior quarterback. He's rolling out to the left, gets a nice block. Now he's got pressure from Roe Mines. Flag on the play. He dumps the pass off incomplete.
We've got
I think so.
Sure do.
I think that would be a hold against Cawood.
Block below the waist.
Okay.
Illegal block. We had a chop block that time. It looked like he was put on Romines. I'm not sure if it was or not, but it looks like 44 was the one that's knees went out from underneath him. Coverage was good once again. Sailor's quick, though. You know, that's that senior leadership. Coach's son. Coach's son. Show me a coach's son that's not a good athlete.
Oh, they worry you. Whether you're playing football, basketball, baseball. I would suppose if you were in cheerleading competition, the coach's daughter would worry you in cheerleading competition. They always seem to know and be so well drilled in the fundamentals.
They grow up around it.
1 wide to the left, 2 wide to the right. Corbin with 5 men on the front. Well, actually 4 men up there now. As Wyatt guards the corner, Sailor drops into the end zone, dumps it off. He's got his man Johnson over the middle. Little shake and bake up to the 25. Down at the 25. That'll be still way short of any kind of a first down.
As Moran and Patrick McKine come up, that was the old screen play, and what happens is they allow the offense or the defensive line to come through. Offensive line just, you know, kind of gives them a little bump on the shoulder, allows them to come on through and filter through to lead for the block. But that time, Patrick McKine come up and shut it down real well.
Now they'll still lead now, 2nd down and 17. They're saying 23 there, but my counting is correct. About 17 yards to the first down. They got to get to the 42. And football's on the 25 as Sailor rolls to the left, getting some pressure, some nice blocking. Now he's being hit, and down he goes. Big number 56 in there for the Corbin Redhounds to bring him down. That's Dwayne Evans.
Dwayne, that time, did an excellent job of fighting off his block. Did you watch that all the way through there, Dave?
Yes, he got, like I say, Sailor got a good block, but Evans just pushed him off. It actually just kind of ran over him and went to the quarterback to take him down for the loss all the way back to the 15-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and a bunch here for Cawood with 1:50 left to go in the first half.
Is it one of those times you think that Dwayne Evans saw raw meat?
Yeah, it's kind of like a bull seeing red. You know, Cawood's got those red jerseys on, and he had to get after it. Cawood gives it to Conley Cotton, the fullback. Bulls his way for a couple of yards. Corbin throws him back for a few, but should get his progress to near the 20-yard line.
As the Redhounds take a timeout. That time they were a good pursuit flying to the football, led by Trey White from his defensive end, Shane Romines, and linebacker David Stevens, number 57.
Well, I think this time probably with 1:30 to go here in the half, I'm sure that the Redhounds, Phillip, just wanting to try and decide after this punt here what they're going to do with the football. They got Pat McCowan back to receive. We'll just keep it here during the timeout. Maybe even going to watch for the old fake punt. What do you think? I really thought Danville, they tried a fake punt against Corbin. Had 47-0. And
yeah.
You know that you dislike the other team when you go for a fake punt when you're up 47-0 with time wasting away in the football game.
And the thing about it is he had his 2nd or 3rd unit in there for Danville. You know, I heard Burley say on the air, I was able to listen to it too while I was there at the game, and he was saying payback someday. Well, I don't know. That one will be remembered, though.
I talked with Burley on the air this morning, and we've been able to take their middle school teams and beat them 7-8 times in a row now, but varsity's a bit different, Sam. We got a big collision on the punt as the ball goes flying up in the air. The ball was blocked. The collision came after the punt was blocked. Corbin takes it in the end zone, but we'll have a Redhound penalty, I'm sure, roughing the kicker.
Well, it was, and it will be a 15-yard penalty. I don't know if that's an automatic first down or if it's 15 yards, and we'll punt it again because it will not be a first down. It's 4th down and 22.
Yeah, they need a lot more than 15. The clock now shows 1:19.
No disregard. They hit the football. Touchdown.
Whoa.
And number 62 carried the touchdown, and that was sophomore, 6'2", 208-pound Ryan Kelly.
Well, like I say, the punt was blocked before the contact came, and Corbin's going to get credit for the touchdown. The Cawood coaching staff doesn't like it, not in the very least bit.
Well, that was another one of those young sophomores, it looked like, number 62, Ryan Kelly, carrying the football over for the touchdown. And you know something? I think the official missed it because I think he fell down on about the 2-yard line, Dave. They didn't even see that. So Ryan, good score for Ryan Kelly.
Well, he may not get a chance to score another
No,
touchdown.
that's good for Ryan.
You don't get those from as Gus Hauser comes on to kick the extra point. Corbin goes on top at the half here, 35-0 with 1:19 left to go in it. We'll take a break after that wild play and be back. The Hounds will kick it away to the Trojans. This Red Hound football and your sports leader, WCTT.
I'm Kate Hensley, number 92, team trainer. Thanks for supporting the Red Hounds.
On the river of life, things change. An Allstate Protection Review with your Allstate agent can make sure your coverage is right for you now. So let your Allstate agent set you on the right course. You're in good hands with Allstate.
For all your insurance needs, contact Kurt Wyatt or the staff at Kurt Wyatt Insurance Agency. Kurt Wyatt Insurance Agency, located at 314 North Main Street in Corbin.
Well, with a minute 19 left to go, and I'm sure it's a minute 19 that Cawood would like to see go by very quickly here in the first half. Corbin on top, 35-0 after a blocked punt. Ryan Kelly recovered and took it in for the touchdown. Didn't see who actually blocked the punt. Ryan didn't block the punt, did he?
No,
Phillip?
No, he didn't. There's a host.
Yeah, I think maybe a couple of guys got a hand on that one. So Gus Hauser readies himself to kick it away for Corbin. Ball is angling. It's going to be taken by 91 Sam Smith. Smith going to the right side. No blocking over there, but he's dodging tacklers, lowers his head, and booms his way to the 25. It's one-on-one football that time by Smith. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Cawood from their own 25-yard line.
Jeremy Moran coming up to make the stop that time for the Hounds. And after you said, David, it was one-on-one open field. Good stop by Moran in the open field.
Clock moves her down here to 1:04 to go. Cawood. 1st and 10 from the 25. Johnson in motion from right to left. Snap goes to Saylor out of the shotgun. Pressure, and Evans has him again. Dwayne Evans, once again on the quarterback sack, this time back at the 13-yard line.
Did you see how quick that was, David? Dwayne Evans just came from no man's land all of a sudden to make that stop. And he's another Coach Randall Sawyer's baseball players, a big first baseman.
Yeah, Saw Daddy, as we call him, has got several players on the football team that he can be proud of their ability in other sports. Well, what a year it was for Corbin Red Hound baseball. High formation now behind Saylor. Clock at 16 seconds. This probably will be the final play of the half. Saylor rolling out to throw. He's got a man deep down there, Johnson, and it is caught, but was he inbounds as he fought for it with Pat McCowan? What's the official going to say here?
They're saying that he caught the football.
Okay.
Okay. 8 seconds to go in the game.
Trojans deserve a break.
Yes, give him a break on that one. Coach Saylor had also ripped, I think, a couple of the officials up on that block punt.
That was all the way down to the 45. I'm telling you, if the ball had been thrown a little bit harder,
he could.
That probably would have been a touchdown.
Yes. He had him beat. Patrick once again came up on the good closing speed. Went up. I thought, matter of fact, Patrick McCown caught the football.
Yeah, Patrick looks like he may be beaten on a pattern, but like you say, he closes real fast. Shotgun once again for the Trojans from the 46 inside Corbin territory, and down goes once again Saylor, and I don't know, that may have been Evans again.
It was Dwayne Evans,
number 56 on him again.
Position.
I'm telling you, Jacob Saylor be dreaming about him tonight with big number 56, Dwayne Evans for Corbin. That's going to end the first half play with the Red Hounds on top of Cawood by a score of 35-0 here in Friday night football action on WCTT. Hang around. Coming up at halftime, we'll check out Philip Russell's stat sheets for you. Also update you on any other scores that we have from around southeast Kentucky, plus look at some of the games from last weekend if we have time. This is Red Hound football It's halftime. Corbin on top 35-0 over Cawood. We're your sports leader, WCTT.
Always the best price, the best selection, and the best service. Always at Marine Myers Ford for the greatest selection of F-Series trucks and Rangers. Marine Myers Ford has a rainbow of possibilities for you. Buy now and get in on interest rates as low as 2.9 APR or rebates as much as $2,500. Marine Myers Ford has the best selection of used vehicles anywhere. Crown Victorias, small trucks, large trucks. Always the best price, the best selection, and the best service. Always at Marine Myers Ford.
Welcome to Marine Myers Ford. This week's Corbin Red Hound special is a 1989 Chevy Suburban, four-wheel drive, got all the buttons on it, for just $13,900.
There's a town in western New Mexico where the people are known for their opinions. So we went to Gallup to find out which fast food deal these folks like best.
By a margin of 10-1, I like the Car Hop Combo at Sonic.
After a random sampling, I chose the Car Hop Combo.
They told us they like the home-cooked taste of Sonic's Car Hop Combo. A famous Sonic burger, fries, and a medium drink. Right now, just $2.49.
Qualitatively speaking, it's awesome.
So you've done Big Bang. Hallie, hold it. So you've done the South Pole. Polarized it. So you've done the space.
Fixed it.
But have you done the do? See, you've never done nothing. Here you do the full tilt taste of Diet Dew. Drag it, down and shoot it.
Reggie White is a large and powerful man.
6'6", 295.
Reggie can clean and jerk your entire family.
Including your dog.
Reggie wears Nike cross trainers when he works out.
Size 14.
If Reggie sees you working out in some other shoe, it would upset him greatly.
I'm sensitive that way.
And remember, Reggie is a large and powerful man.
I prefer.
Corbin to 401, switch over.
Excuse me, don't you have some shopping to do?
Lincoln County has pushed their lead out to 13-3 over Clay County at halftime. Somerset leads Russell 7-0, and Beechwood, kind of like the Danville of single-A football, are on top by a score of 21-0 at halftime.
High school football at its finest, and can you think of a better place and a better night to be at a high school football game, and especially this temperature? I mean, now last week was a little bit warm, but tonight it's true football weather.
Last year was miserable. When it got about 35-0, it got miserable in the booth. You know, really, he can't hear me, so I guess I can talk about him. My color man, Burley Foley, he tends to disappear as the score gets out of hand on me. He really just kind of sinks down into his chair, and he gets lower and lower until by the end of that Danville game, he was 1 inch tall. If you had measured Burley Foley, he would have been 1 inch tall at the end of the Danville game.
You could hear him on the radio. As a matter of fact,
even his voice gets a littler, doesn't it?
I thought the last 5 minutes of that ball game last week that you was doing it by yourself. I didn't know even Burley was in the press box with you. I didn't hear a peep out of him.
His pay needs cut. I told the boss today, I said, his pay needs cut. He's shrinking on me. But now, here tonight, leading 35-0, he'd be big. He'd be 10 foot tall and bulletproof, Burley would right now.
Yes, he would. Yes, he would. He'd be reminiscing way back, you know.
Oh, yeah, he'd be going back to those great days.
The glory days.
That's the way it is, and, you know,
Oh, yeah.
He bleeds Red Hound red. There's no doubt about it.
I don't think you can find a more truer Red Hound than the Burley Foley.
He bleeds that Red Hound red.
Here at halftime, though, the Corbin Red Hounds are on top of the Cawood Trojans 35-0. Once again in the scoring was led by Matt Bargo on his 37-yard touchdown run, backed up by an 11-yard touchdown run. Picked up by Chris Hammock 4 yards out and Trey White 1 yard out. And then on the punt return by Ryan Kelly. So it's been kind of spread out on the scoring this evening.
Well, you know, if you're Cawood and starting off this second half, Corbin started off their second half 27-0 last Saturday night against Danville. And I'm sure if you're Cawood, you got to be thinking, hey, even if we maybe can't come back here and win this football game, we need to come back and do something positive, because they've got 8 more football games left on their schedule after this one, and they would like to have this second half be a positive half for them.
Well, they got to work on some things, and you know Coach Saylor is going to do that, especially his son out there. He's not going to lay down. He is the coach's son. He's got to go home and stay with his daddy, you know. I mean, so he's not about to lay down on him and quit playing. So you're going to see a Cawood team come out here in the second half and try to execute back to the basics of what got them where they've been pronounced as a good Cawood football team.
Well, let's get ready for second half action. Corbin on top 35-0. It'll be the Hounds to kick it away to the Cawood Trojans. Dave King and Philip Russell set to bring you second half action here on WCTT AM and WCTT FM Corbin. Hauser gets the kick away. It's going to be fielded by number 21. That's Keith Baker. Baker right up the middle of the field. Got a big hole to the 35, to the 40. He may go. He's at midfield. He's at the 45, but he is brought down by one final tackler. The only guy with a chance, Jeremy Moran, knocked him down at the 45-yard line, but it's Cawood football, 1st and 10 at the 45 of Corbin.
Well, there's something I have discovered in this ball game, Dave. We didn't get to see him do it last week, but Gus Hauser is a true kicker. He can't tackle. He ran right through him.
He didn't look good on that one.
No, he didn't look good on that one. Gus is a kicker and is a basketball player. You know, that's what he's supposed to do. And
well, he's 5'9", 135.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him a bit.
It's hard to get those big guys when you're 5'9", 135. Saylor. Play action, flips it over to the left side to Johnson. Johnson's got to run down the side to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown for the Cawood Trojans as they strike early. Number 26, Brett Johnson. Little play action fake that time, and then Saylor hit him out in the left flat, and he was gone for the TD. Real quick. Go for 45 yards, and it's a 35-6 football game.
Hey, listen, this game's not over with yet. Coach Saylor took him in the paint is probably still is still falling off in that locker room in there. And Coach Saylor will get those young men fired up. Hey, that was a good play-action pass right there. It froze our linebackers. Our defensive corner came up and committed, and as soon as he did, he was beat. And it's an excellent play that time by Cawood.
Well, you know, we talked about Cawood just trying to do something positive here in the second half to build for the next game, but if you're Corbin, you're going to have to be a little bit more awake than this, as number 88, Ben Lovely, is on to try the PAT. Looks good. One of those straight-ahead kickers, and it is, and it's 35-7. Corbin on top with 11:21 left to go here in third quarter action. We'll be right back to Cawood High. This is Red Hound football on WCTT.
Since 1908, Catalyst Coal has been serving Southeast Kentucky with a tradition of quality. With an employment of 373 and an annual payroll of $16 million, Catalyst Coal is helping keep our economy strong and growing. Catalyst Coal has over the past 3 years maintained an accident rate of well below the national average for lost time accidents as a coal corporation. This year, Catalyst Coal will ship 3.2 million tons of coal, thus ensuring growth and prosperity. Catalyst Coal, building a tradition of quality in Southeast Kentucky.
11:21 to go in the third period, 35-7. Corbin on top of Cawood after the Trojans make a quick strike for the TD. And in what could be the best game going on around the state tonight, Danville leads Shelby County by a score of 21-14 at halftime of that football game. We'll try to keep you posted on that score and others. Here is the kick. It's going to be a short one taken by Bargo. He drops it. It bounces back to the 15, picked up back there by Matt Gibson. He's running it out. He's at the 30. He's at the 35. He's got one guy to beat up at the 45-yard line, but he knocks him out of bounds at around the 38. But a nice return and all the way to the 38-yard line of Cawood. And like you said earlier, Phil Russell, when it happened to Corbin, when those plays get broken like that, people get out of position and strange things can happen.
They do. They come flying to the football. What it's on a kickoff team, what is designated to do is you line up, of course, straight from sideline to sideline, and it all kind of like a big wheel fans in toward the middle, and then kind of just shuts it off like a gate. And sometimes the ball will get loose like it did through Matt's legs that time as Gibson picked the ball up, and that gate is already shut. And if you can get a clean handle on that and get through that last line of defense right there, anything can happen.
And we saw that happen, absolutely. Ball all the way down to the 24-yard line, looks like is where the spot's going to be. 11 minutes, 10 seconds left to go. As Eddie Barton comes in to play quarterback, Barton will hand it off
Trey White.
To Trey White, straight up the middle for a couple of yards. Eddie didn't start at quarterback. He's a 5'11", 155-pound junior. Patrick McCowan started off the game at quarterback. Eddie was the starter against the Danville Admirals. Also keep in mind that number 7, Danny Steele, has rejoined the team, but Coach Adams says it'll be 2, maybe 3 weeks before he can think of seeing any action at quarterback. Fargo takes the handoff, moves his way down to the 10, fumbles the football. Cawood has it down at the 9-yard line. We saw that one pop out of there at about the 15.
He took a hard lick that time right on the arm, and the football looked like it bounced about 15 feet in the air and about 10 feet back as Cawood was able to come up with that fumble.
As number 56, Adam Farley, on the recovery at the 9-yard line. So Cawood pinned deep into their own territory, but still they have the football after it looked like Corbin might be ready to drive it in for another score. So 1st and 10 from the Trojans. For the Trojans from their own 9-yard line. Let's see what they do here. The I formation lines up behind the quarterback. Sailor, one wide to the left, one to the right in the middle of the field. Sailor's going to give it off back there to his tailback. Johnson, I think the carrier, crossing the 10 up to about the 12-yard line.
Coming in there flying to make the stop that time for the Red Hounds was number 57, David Stevens.
And it was Denny Curtis on the carry. He's 29. Johnson is 26. Curtis, gain of about 4. That'll bring up 2nd and 6 now with 9:50 to go, 3rd period. 35-7 Corbin.
I like that linebacker in there. That's number 57, David Stevens. He's 5'7", 198-pound junior. And I tell you what, if there ever was a spark plug built like a fire hydrant, that's him. He's all muscle.
Once again, working out of the eye. Receivers wide both ways. Sailor out in the flat this time to Johnson. He doesn't get the block this time, and down he goes up at around the 16-yard line as the Hounds were ready for that play. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Coming flying in, making that stop that time, reading it well that time for the Corbin Red Hounds was David Jones. He's from his halfback position, 155-pound senior at 6 foot. David come closing good that time. It was the same play we saw that scored the touchdown for Cawood, and that time Jones was able to stay at home and read the ball well. And the block was not made that time.
Once again, Johnson will go wide to the left. Middleton, the little guy, but quick, goes wide to the right side. 3rd down and about 3. Will Sailor throw? He's dropping back to throw. He's going to let it go. He's got Middleton over the middle. He's got him up there. It's caught. Caught up at the 35-yard line for a Cawood Trojan 1st down.
Well, that time he threw into double coverage, and David Stevens had the kind of like center field position with Patrick McCowan having deep flat. And Sailor was able to read the ball well as the receiver saw the seam and was able to come in there and split, but right in behind the linebacker and in front of the free safety.
And a nice grab that time by number 11, Middleton. That'll spot the football on the 34-yard line. Sailor gives straight to his fullback. That's Curtis, and he power drives his way across to the 41-yard line, and this Cawood team is fired up right now.
I tell you what, when you're if you play for Coach Sailor, Tim Sailor, you're going to be fired up because he's not going to let you lay down the whole game, just like Coach Adams isn't. And that time, Romines and interior of the defensive line for Corbin had to make the stop after a pickup of about 8 yards.
And I had that down there as Curtis, but I think that may have been a new ball carrier in number 20, Howard. Sometimes these 20s and 29s and 26s all kind of look together, but a nice run, whoever it was.
Well, I think Coach Jewell saw all he wanted to see. Did you see him? I think he took 5 steps from the sideline as Corbin has called timeout to come across and discuss this situation. Coach Jewell saw all he wants to see.
We'll just keep it here during this timeout. 35-7. Corbin on top of Cawood, but Cawood has come out here in the second half, throwing the football well, running the football well against a Corbin defense that was giving them nothing there in the first half. They picked up 1 score. Of course, they're still 4 touchdowns behind, but I'm telling you, they've come out like a team possessed in this second half of play. Corbin had a nice return by Matt Gibson on a kickoff, and after a penalty, took it all the way to the 24-yard line. But then a fumble by Matt Bargo on the 15 gave it up to Cawood, and that's where it leaves us right now. The Cawood Trojans facing a 2nd down and 3. And the ball on their own 42-yard line. Man in motion from right to left. That's Johnson. Shotgun for Saylor. Drops back. Looks. Lets it go to the right sideline. Middleton has it at the 50. Down there. That'll be enough for the first down.
Well, that's the second first down on the series for the Cawood Trojans after the opening first play touchdown to start the second half. Cawood was only able to really muster 1 or 2 first downs in the first half, and now they have 2 here early in the third quarter.
And the clock shows 7 minutes, 50 seconds left to go in the third period of play. Once again, Middleton goes wide to the right. Johnson is wide to the left. I formation lined up behind Saylor as they work off the right hash marks. And we got encroachment on the Corbin Red Hounds.
So that time, Saylor, going as heady as he is as that senior, changed up the snap count and caught the Hounds kind of just a little anxious.
Haven't been a lot of penalties in this football game. We saw a lot in the Danville game. Most of those against Danville. They had a couple of touchdowns that were called back by penalties, but this game the flags have not been flying all that frequently.
That's the second penalty of the game charged against Corbin for a total of 15 yards.
So now that moves it down inside the Corbin territory, down to the 44-yard line. First down and 5 for Cawood. Saylor will give it off now to Curtis. Curtis has some room down to the 30. Submarine there by Pat McCowan. Denny Curtis.
Pat McCowan was the last line of defense to stop Curtis from taking it on into the end zone. Good open field tackle that time by Patrick McCowan. I don't know. Seems like he may have shook himself up just a little bit as he kind of chopped him down like a big redwood.
Yeah, well, this just doesn't look like the same Corbin defense that played that first half. Cawood's offensively right now is having their way with this Corbin defensive unit.
Well, you know, as coaches do, they'll make adjustments at halftime, and Coach Sutter went in, made the adjustments he wanted to make. It looks like it worked pretty well. Now Coach Jules got to get his defensive forces under control.
Once again, shotgun formation as the wing back there, Middleton, comes in motion. Now Middleton goes to the left side. The pass is for him off his fingertips and out of bounds over at the 20. That was Johnson in motion. And
step for step that time with him was number 22 for the Hounds, David Jones.
And the pass was going for Middleton, who was out of bounds, so that will bring up now a 2nd down and 10 for Cawood. Corbin desperately needing to hold on here to stop this Cawood rally. Even though the Hounds are still up 35-7, it's been all Cawood here in the third period.
Big Mo is shifted.
No doubt about it. Saylor working out of the gun. Takes the snap and drops way back to the 40. He looks, going to dump it over the middle on the screen pass. It's going to be caught. The receiver there is Sam Smith, and Smith makes his way within a couple of yards of the first down. He needs to get across the 20. He is stopped right on about the 22.
I tell you what, that screen play, of course, we're sitting up here at our vantage point and can see it real well, but you can just see the screen just open up so well as the offensive line kind of just lets the defense filter through. That time staying at home, though, making a good recovery was number 59, Shane Creekmore, from his linebacker position.
Big third down play here for Cawood. Of course, undoubtedly, the Trojans in 4-down territory. They got a 3rd down and 2 from the 22-yard line, the I formation. Big Conley, Cotton, and Curtis in the backfield. It's going to go to the tailback, Curtis. He is not going to get the first down. Dropped right on the 21-yard line.
Good play that time by
Trey Wyatt, I think.
Trey Wyatt.
And Shane Romines.
Shane Romines, absolutely. Trey Wyatt from his defensive end position coming up along with Shane Romines.
And that's going to be short of the first down for Cawood. Number 6 checks back into the football game, Denny Farmer.
And he's a load.
Yes,
I mean, we never did find any stats on him. I wish we could have. He and Saylor seems like they've been in that backfield.
He's going to line up there at fullback and get the football and just crushes his way for the first down all the way down to the 15-yard line. Well, you knew when you saw him coming into the game that he was going to get it. But he did his job. He picks up the first down for Cawood.
He sure did. All the thing you could see then is white jerseys being pushed back and laying on their back. Like I said before, though, that the Farmer and Saylor seems like they've been in that backfield for the last 10 years. They've been there for quite a period of time. Last year, you can remember, Cawood came to Corbin, beat us 20-0.
5:05 to go third period. 35-7 Corbin on top, but Cawood on the drive here. Saylor working out of the eye. He's going to roll to the left. He's being chased over there by Evans. He's going to get rid of it into the end zone. It's caught down at the goal line.
They're saying he's out of bounds. No good.
Caught but out of bounds as he caught it.
Patrick McCowan once again making an excellent play on that.
Good catch there, too, with number 91, Sam Smith, but he just couldn't get his feet to come down in bounds.
Good concentration, really, that time on both athletes. The young man to be able to catch the ball, and McCowan able to stay with him and have the presence of mind knowing where the ends of the sideline was.
4:51 to go in the third. Second down, 10 for Cawood, working from near the hump. 2 wide to the right, 1 wide to the left side. It's the shotgun for Saylor. He looks over the middle, picked off, intercepted down at around the 10-yard line.
Dennis Jones, number 22, I believe it is.
Yes, it was.
Yes,
That's his second interception of the football game for Dennis.
And he stayed at home. Did you see it? Could you see that opening up from here, Dave? That was perfect. Jones, it was a misdirection once again. And what happens is Saylor comes back, looks to his right, and then spins and hits the quick slant pattern. Jones picked it up.
We used to run that play in my grandmother's backyard. That was go to the big oak tree, turn around and
hang a left.
Hang a left at the big oak tree and head across the middle, and I'll be faking right, but I'll throw it back to you. So Red Hound football after the interception. That stops a big drive here by Cawood. Pat McCowan will keep it from his quarterback spot. Goes forward for a couple of yards.
Back to the bread and butter play. That matter of fact, that is, except for that 1 negative yard, the least amount of yardage Patrick McCowan had in this ball game on a carry, and that's only 2 yards.
Corbin just hasn't had the football in this period. I mean, they had it for just a little while, then fumbled, and this is only the second time in this period that Corbin has had the football. It's been ball possession by Cawood. McCowan takes a snap, pitches out left to Chris Hammock, dodges a tackle, got some room up to the 20, and moves his way on to the 25 as he made a great cut inside to get around a would-be Cawood tackler and picks up the first down for the Red Hounds. Nice running by Chris Hammock.
Excellent running that time, following his offensive line, but there is some laundry laying on the field. A yellow flag laying back on about the 10-yard line.
Odie Yeller, we like to call that, and looks like it's going to Yeller has hit the field. It's going to be a hold against Corbin. Well, maybe that's why Hammock is able to get to the inside so quick. Someone held his man for it.
Yeah, it looked like it could have been one of those WWF holds on Saturday afternoon.
It's going to move Corbin all the way back to the 5-yard line. That'll leave him now with second down and about 17 yards. They've got across the 22. McCowan to take the snap straight up the middle on the running play to, who's that, Trey Wyatt? Wyatt only for a couple of yards.
Yes.
That'll bring up now third down for the Hounds. Still lots of real estate to cover here to get anywhere close to a first down. Once again, they got across the 22, and the ball is on about, as far as I can see from here, on about the 8-yard line.
You know, let's give some credit, dude, where like in the first half, and these young men are going to come through here in the second half are opening up these gaping holes. It'd be Shane Romines, Joey Petrie, Shane Creekmore, Andy Robertson, and Nolan Devon. That's the beef up on that front line.
Yeah, it's not been, you know, the defense
Dwayne
has
Evans.
been the difference here in the second half. This third period, the Corbin defense just hasn't been able to contain Cawood. Oh, here's a big hole for Pat McCowan. He's at the 20. He's going to get the first down of the 25. He's at the 30. 35 up to the 40. 45 turns on the speed to the 50. There he goes, down to the 30. Being chased, down to the 20. Oh, hit from behind and dropped on the 10 on a diving tackle. Oh, my goodness. A diving last-second tackle by Jeremy Lee, number 9. Give him credit. He had one chance to dive, and he did, and just barely hit the heels of Pat McCowan and brings him down right about on the 10.
Right at about the 9-yard line. He took he kept the ball from his 8, made it all the way down to the Cawood 9-yard line.
I'm telling you, Pat McCowan isn't a slow youngster.
No.
But Jeremy Lee caught him from behind and brought him down on the 10.
What is that, about an 82-yard run?
It was a bunch.
82 yards and a first down.
2:52 to go in the third period. First down, though, for Corbin from the 10. Handoff goes to Chris Hammock. He threads his way to the 5 on down to about the 2-yard line.
As Hammock takes the handoff from Eddie Barton, the new quarterback, into the game. They're trying to give Cowan a little oxygen on the sidelines, trying to let him get his breath back a little bit after that 82-yard run.
Yeah, I think Pat needs a couple of snaps break here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's quite a run. He like one of those Danville players when he cut that corner there.
That's right. I didn't think he was going to catch it. I think he started kind of running out of steam of about the 20-yard, his own, or the Cawood 20-yard line.
So it's a long way from one end of that field to the other. Corbin knocking on the door here, though. Second down and goal, and that is Hammock on the dive in for the touchdown. Touchdown for Chris Hammock, and the Corbin Red Hounds, and the Hounds lead now 41-7. 2:05 to go in the third period of play.
Hammock went right behind that big offensive line that time. He lowered his head and went right over Andy Robertson and Joey Petrie for the score.
Gus Hauser on to kick. Bad snap. It's picked up by Matt Gibson. Rolls to the right. Rolls to the right. Rolls to the right. Cuts it in. Did he get there?
Nope.
No, says the official. They knocked him out of bounds right at the goal line. As Matt Gibson couldn't handle the snap that time, he picked it up and was within inches of getting it in for the two-point conversion, though. But he comes up short, and the score will stay Corbin 41, Cawood 7, with 2 minutes, 5 seconds left to go here in period number 3. We'll be right back. This is Red Hound Football on your sports leader, WCTT.
At First National Bank of Corbin, there's a good reason we're the strongest financial institution in the region. Complete dedication to serving our customers and delivering quality financial products for your checking, car, boat, and home loan needs. First National customers know they can expect innovative products with old-fashioned service. Look to First National Bank of Corbin for all your needs, because when it comes to banking, we're at your service.
41-7 our score here with 2 minutes and 5 seconds left to go in the third period of play. Corbin on top of the Cawood Trojans. We understand that Williamsburg has picked up a win over MC Napier. Beechwood continuing to lead Hazard 28-0 there. South Laurel's over Bell County right now by a score of 21-6. Middlesboro winning. Didn't catch who Middlesboro was playing. Frank was giving those out pretty quick. We had to get back to the action here. We'll clear that up for you, though, at the next break. And Danville over Shelby County. Last we had at halftime, that was 21-14. Gus Hauser set to kick it away for the Corbin Red Hounds. And once again, it'll be number 91, Sam Smith. Got some blocking up at the 20-yard line, but can't get to it and goes down there. Had a little blocking up ahead of him at about the 25 or 26, but the Red Hound defenders got around that and bring him down right on the 20. Well, now they're going to say the 22. They'll get some forward progress there. It's first and 10 for Cawood from the 22.
Well, let's see if Coach Jewell was able to get his defensive line and defensive team as a whole kind of lined out after a kind of a shaky start of the third quarter.
Yeah, Cawood's moved the ball well in the third period. They have only one touchdown to show for it. That's because of an interception. Johnson goes in motion left to right. Handoff goes to Conley Cotton on the counter play. He heads out to the 26-yard line, the big fullback. Not a speedster, but he's a load. He's brought down there.
I wish we had some stats, because I tell you, that young man right there is, you're absolutely correct, is a load. And coming across to make the stop that time for the Hounds was big number 59, Shane Creekmore, along with Trey White, and coming up to close, number 22, Dennis Jones.
It has been a good crowd here. There's a good crowd of Red Hand faithful across the way. A lot of people here from Cawood. Quite a few people here from Cawood. Once again, the Trojans will go out of the shotgun. Once again, Johnson in motion, this time left to right. Saylor drops back. He looks for Johnson, and he's got him. No, it's not Johnson. He's got his man, though, on the out pattern over there, Ben Lovely, who ran the out at the 40-yard line. And that's exactly where the spot will be. That's enough for a Trojan first down. Saylor can deliver.
Yes, he did. And, you know, he stood in the face of adversity that time. I want to tell you who he had coming down on him. He had big number 44, Shane Romine, big number 78, Nolan DeVaughn, and looking at him right in the face was number 38, Trey White. And he still delivered the football.
On the money, on the numbers. And he will stay in the shotgun. This time Curtis, the man in motion. From left to right. Got to watch for Middleton. Here goes Johnson. He goes in motion now from right to left. It's taking a long time to get the play off, though, as Saylor looks. He looks, got a hold, doesn't want to run. He's going to pass it. It's caught up at about the 47-yard line by Johnson.
Well, we've got a new defensive back into the ball game for the Red Hounds. Is number 16, Roman Cassidy. It's 5'9", 138-pound sophomore. Another first down for Cawood.
Yeah, you know, Philip, even though this is an experienced Corbin team, a lot of these guys got to see action last year. It's also, like you pointed out a couple of times tonight, still a very young Corbin football team. There's a lot of youth.
A lot of youth.
Playing for the Hounds. Cawood with a first down inside Corbin territory at about the 48. Handoff's going to go to Cotton. Oh, he breaks one tackle, breaks another one, but is finally brought down from behind, I think, by Dwayne Evans. Had a hold of him, as did David Stevens.
Dwayne sliding down from his defensive end position, came all the way down to make the stop, and once again showing the strength that also Dwayne Evans has fighting off the blockers of those red jerseys. As we've come to the end of the third quarter.
And that is in the third period. So at the end of 3, it is Corbin 41, Cawood 7. We'll be back with the fourth and final period after this break. This is Red Hound football on Southeast Kentucky sports leader, WCTT.
No matter what the part, foreign or domestic, see Harrell or Kenny at Davis Salvage. Why pay top dollar for new parts when good used parts can do the job? If Davis Salvage doesn't have the part you need, they'll help you find your part on the nationwide locator service. Phone Davis Salvage at 528-3951 or toll free at 1-800-442-7876. Davis Salvage on the Falls Highway in Corbin.
Probably noticed that the names of some banks in the Tri-Counties have changed to Cumberland Valley National Bank. The name has changed, but you'll still get the same professional service and you'll still see the same friendly faces. Even though Cumberland Valley National Bank is southeastern Kentucky's largest bank, it's still your hometown bank, staffed by hometown people. Plus, the added convenience of Tellerific, Mac, and Cirrus networks. It's what your bank should be. Cumberland Valley National Bank, member FDIC.
Well, we got more scores from around southeast Kentucky from the football fields. Metcalfe County 14, Wayne County nothing in that game right now. We had Bell County and South Laurel mixed up there. If you got all excited maybe about the Bobcats getting beat, they're actually not getting beat. They are ahead of South Laurel 29-7 in that football game. Middlesboro, who looked good in their opener, is leading Pulaski County 28-0 right now. Could be an up year for the Middlesboro Jackets after being down for a while. Beechwood 28, Hazard nothing. Here's Saylor on second down to throw. He's going to throw long. He's got a man way out there. It's caught by Middleton. Got him. Struck him right down at about the 3-yard line. Two defenders from Corbin right on top of him, Moran and McCowan. I don't know how much better you could have covered him.
You couldn't. You cannot play any better defense out there as a defensive back, except to have the quarterback as Saylor's caliber just launch it over his heads and let the young man run underneath it. We talked about that earlier in the first half, if you remember. You know, if he'd kind of thrown it out there a little bit longer, further out, he could have ran underneath it. And that time he did.
Well, Middleton snags it inside the 5-yard line at about the 3. Here is Saylor. He's rolling to the right. He's looking in the end zone, pumping, throwing, touchdown. And the man in there for the TD, number 91, Sam Smith.
That time you could see we're trying to say the expert ability of the Saylor kid. He kept stringing it out, and then his receivers came to him in the end zone. Instead of staying in one spot, they came back to the football, and that's how they became open so much.
Yeah, he just kept pumping. He'd pump left, pump right, and he'd pump in the middle, and finally spotted him a man there and put it right to him. That was Sam Smith, as Cawood now will go for 2, trailing 41-13. Saylor looks toward the end zone. Nobody's open, and he is going to be hit, but the ball is caught short of the goal line, though. Number 29, Curtis, did make the catch, but he comes up short as Saylor took a pretty good hit there from a couple of Corbin Red Hounds, but he's up and okay, and We'll take a break and come back, and Cawood will kick off to Corbin. 41-13, the Hounds on top with 11:35 to go in this football game. This is Red Hound football and the sports leader, WCTT.
At Corbin Materials, we deliver ready-mix concrete throughout Laurel, Knox, Whitley, Clay, and Bell counties. What most people don't know is we deliver 750-gallon and 1,000-gallon septic tanks throughout all of southeastern Kentucky. We also sell decorative gravel, too. We're Corbin Materials. Call us collect at 528-7362. For septic tanks, sand, gravel, or ready-mix concrete, think of Corbin Materials first.
Well, the Cawood Trojans pick up their second touchdown of this half. It was 35-0 at halftime, but they've scored a couple here. It's now 41-13 with 11:35 to go in the football game. Corbin on top of the Trojans. And here's the kick. It'll be fielded on the run by Matt Gibson at the 20. Heads for the left sideline at the 25, to the 30, to the 35, to the 40, to the 45, up to about the 48-yard line. Rodeoed out of bounds there, but a nice return by Matt Gibson, and Corbin will have it 1st and 10 at the 48.
Another excellent run by Matt Gibson, and if you'll notice, as he picks his blocks up along the wall, and on the special teams, especially on kickoff and punt return and kickoff return, you've got a wall that they want to set up on the sideline, and he waited for his wall to set up, did a good job running behind it.
Well, I'm telling you, there was no wall against Danville.
No.
Down at Takes Creek. It was like our blockers didn't even want any part of trying to block Danville. I wouldn't have wanted to have been returning the football for Corbin in that one. Much better this game. Corbin with straight up the middle football now as Pat McCowan hands it off to Matt Bargo. Moves it across midfield inside to Cawood territory to the 48-yard line.
Matt Bargo on a carry of 3 yards or 4 yards on that carry.
Yeah, the big first half. How many yards did he have the first half? Hasn't had it much in the second. 106 yards the first half. Corbin offensively just hasn't had the football a lot here in the second half. McCowan fakes to the first man, gives to the second guy through, and
Trey White.
I guess he did give it to the first guy through as Wyatt, the fullback.
That's an excellent
moves down to the 40.
Had you faked that, didn't it, Dave? Me too, as I saw Wyatt just keep chunking on. That's the only reason why I knew he had the football, because he had some red jerseys hanging on him. But he carried the ball 10 yards that time for a Red Hound first down.
If you work up here with me much, you'll figure out those quarterbacks fool me a lot of times. I'm telling you, they're pretty slick with the way they hide that football. Wishbone now lines up behind McCowan. This time he does fake and pitches it out to Hammock on the left side. Not a lot of room for Hammock, maybe a yard or two.
As he's knocked out of bounds on the far side of the Red Hound side of the field, Hammock was just able to get back to the line of scrimmage, or no, he lost 1 yard.
Yeah, but I've seen Corbin try the pitch a lot. That's not something that he did a lot against Danville. It cost him dearly on one play that was returned for a touchdown, and Corbin hasn't run the option a whole lot here either, or at least not the option to keep for the pitch.
Quick pitch.
Wishbone now behind McCowan. He will keep and gets just about nothing. Maybe back to the original line of scrimmage at the 40-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down for the Hounds. But this is running time off the clock. Down to 10 minutes to go now in the football game. 41-13. The Hounds are up. Well, next Friday night, it'll be the Bell County Bobcats. Will kick it off with their tailgate party at 7.
First home game for the 94 season. Eddie Barton, the new quarterback's into the game.
Yeah, Barton checks back in to play quarterback, has a Wishbone in there behind him. He's going to throw. He looks. He's going to throw long. Got a man out there, Jones. He's got Jones down at the 10. Down he goes at the 9-yard line.
Eddie Barton.
How about that?
Eddie Barton's first high school completion, and it was a beauty. As Jones, he led Jones perfect.
Absolutely put that ball right on the money, and David Jones pulls her in. Jones, a 6-foot, 155-pound senior halfback. And that puts Corbin in scoring position here. 1st and goal from about the 9-yard line. Barton back at quarterback, the left-hander. He's going to give it off to Matt Gibson. Caught from behind for a loss of about a yard on the play.
I tell you what, Eddie Barton looked real well on that pass ball.
Oh, he couldn't have threw it any better.
From the south, he's a southpaw, and from the south side, he looked real well.
Don't you like to see it as southpaw throw? It's like a
float,
like they're throwing darts.
Yes, yes.
I tried that one time playing darts. I thought, well, I'll just throw left-handed like those southpaws do. And
who'd you hit?
I didn't hit the dartboard. Pitch out goes to Chris Hammock, and Hammock is hit hard, and the ball goes flying. Well, that wasn't the ball. That's someone on the sideline throwing the ball. Excuse me. But Hammock was hit hard as he went airborne that time. Comes down after gain of about a half yard on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and goal from Corbin at the 9-yard line. Hounds having trouble after the completion from Barton, punching it on in here.
As our counterparts say on Monday Night Football, they're in the red zone.
In the red zone. Got Chris Hammock, the right halfback. Trey Wyatt, fullback. The left halfback is Matt Bargo. Both the ends in tight to block. Corbin with a wishbone, but Barton is going to throw. Rose to his left. He looks. He's got Michael Crowley in there, rather, and he is having the football knocked away down at the goal line.
Well, now we're going
Crowley for a moment.
Yes, he did. And now we're going to get to see Gus Hauser on his first field goal attempt. See, they'll place the ball on about the 9-yard line. That's 19. Let's see.
26-yarder.
26.
Okay, Gus Hauser will come on, and we think here will come on. Yes, he is. Pat McCowan will hold.
He's a soccer-style kicker.
Well, the spot is going to be, looks on about the 16. Yeah, it'll be a 26-yarder. There's the kick. It looks good.
Looks good.
Looks
beautiful.
Good.
Yes.
Yes, says the official. So Gus Hauser bangs her in from 26 yards away, and Corbin goes on top 44-13. And I'm telling you, that is a weapon, Philip Russell, that will come into play much more this season than some of the fans at home might be thinking right now.
Hey, not to discredit any of the kids over the past few years have been kicking for Corbin, but that has been one of the spots that we've been needing in our
well, it's just something that most high school football teams don't have.
Right.
You just don't have the luxury of someone that can try a field goal for you from
a good kicking
30
game.
yards.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, Gus Hauser right then had enough foot to look like it could have been about a 36-40.
He just about hit the pine trees. He just about hit the. He's been hard on those pine trees behind this goal line down here to our right.
He's wore the pine trees out.
44-13, Corbin on top. We'll just keep it here. We're praising Gus there. We don't have time to get our break in. Hauser will be kicking away to the Cawood Trojans with 7:54 to go in the football game. But, you know, really, that's just a luxury that you just don't have oftentimes in high school football. Not even your real good teams just don't have anybody that can get that 25, 30-yard field goal for you. And Corbin also, from what I saw the other night, is going to have an excellent punting person in Chris Hammock. He got a lot of practice against Danville.
He got a lot of practice. I don't know how the kid was able to run, really. I mean, his legs not falling out. Good kick by Gus Hauser.
Gusser gets it up nice and high. The ball is going to go out of bounds down at the 15-yard line. The flag flies down there.
Cawood will have the option of taking the ball on their own 35-yard line on the penalty as the ball goes out of bounds, an illegal procedure.
And I'm sure that they will.
You know, that's a pretty good play. I'm glad to see that in the... I don't think they're going to want to kick it again. So, but I'm kind of glad to see that because I can remember sometimes years ago where they'd kick the football and it'd go out like about the 2-yard line. And you was always in the coffin corner trying to start. And this is on a kickoff, you know. Woods was a good weapon at the time, but it adds to the game.
Yeah, well, and obviously it takes skill to be able to consistently make a football goal out of bounds.
All right.
You know, inside the 10 or the 15 or whatever. But I'm like you. I think that's a good rule.
It just opens the game.
I think all rules are good. I think all officials are good. And
okay.
I just like to praise them all.
Does Burley praise them all the time?
Burley doesn't say much. You know, he's got just enough politician in him to keep him from getting on people like he should sometimes.
Yeah, he's got a little coach in him too, though. I mean.
So Hauser will kick it away again. This time gets it high. It's going to be taken by Middleton at the 20. 25, cuts it out to the right side, and is going to be hit pretty hard over there by number 16 for Corbin, Roman Cassidy.
Sure was. You know, Roman is it says Roman is only 135 pounds, but I thought 138. I thought Roman was about 150-some pounds. That may be a little bit wrong. I think he weighs more than that. But I've watched Roman play all the way through Little League, through the 8th grade program. He's one of those talented sophomores, and Roman has great speed. I mean, he really does. He gets down and closes real well. He's one of those speedy receivers that we're going to be seeing here in the near future for the Red Hounds.
Yeah, well, he was the first guy down that time and put a pretty good pop on Middleton that time. So it's going to be first down and 10 here for Cawood. Saylor rolls to the right sideline, looking long, spins a bullet. It's going to be caught. Was he inbounds up on the 50-yard line?
Yes, he will.
And the official says yes. Near the 50 at about the 49. Johnson on the catch.
We've got a little laundry, I think, laying on the field as we see a new Red Hound into the game. Let's get
that could be
number 23, Mondo Sima.
Well, the penalty was against Cawood there. An illegal receiver downfield against the Cawood Trojans. Yeah, I definitely remember Mondo when, you know, we've, over the years, done a few of the 7th and 8th grade homecoming games and some things like that. And always impressed back then with Mondo. And he set out football last year, right?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He's back this year as a freshman at Corbin. And I tell you, that young man, the future can only be bright for him.
Hey, the future is very bright for Corbin football. You know, there have been some 7 and 5 years and a 6 and 6 year last year, but Corbin football looks very bright right now. Here's Saylor this time rolling to the left. He's being chased by Romines, but he gets away from him and then overthrows his receiver.
He is being chased that time by the bus driver, or excuse me, number 31, Matt Bargo. You know, Bargo coming in. I think he's playing defensive end on the far side and put a little heat on Saylor. Give you a stat right here on this freshman. Mondo Sima, 5'11", 190 pounds. He's
5'11", 190.
He's a freshman. So, I mean, you know, we
don't see a lot of freshmen
5'11", 190 pounds
like
and solid. You know, looking out here on the field right now, we've got some sophomores, a freshman playing out there, a couple of seniors, but it's a young defensive unit on the field right at this moment.
Yeah, a lot of new faces, and you try to pick up as many of those as you can for the folks back home. They like to hear when their guys are in. As Saylor this time rolls to the left again. He's got Middleton out there this time up at the 35-yard line. A host of Red Hound players in there to put the tackle on Middleton. Margot was there.
Absolutely, and freshman QB quarterback Aaron Hoskins at 5'9", 157. There's a bright spot for the Corbin Red Hounds. I want you to remember that name. He's going to be a future quarterback that they're going to be touted very, very much so, and that's Aaron Hoskins. He's a freshman quarterback this year, and if you got an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to get out and watch this freshman and JV bunch play some, get over there. Watch that young man at quarterback.
Well, Corbin much better off at the quarterback position now with, you know, Danny Steele back out, and the way Pat McCowan's run the football team, which we knew Pat could do that. And then Eddie Barton coming in throwing that strike. Here's Saylor throwing long. Got Johnson way out there.
Yes.
Knocked down by Jones. Way down on the 23-yard line as he and Johnson were just in a flat-out foot race. Jones with him step by step and batted it down.
You know, there's something we talked about earlier. One of the timeouts was off the air is our track program. And you're being able to see kind of the track program start to take effect at Corbin High School. Danville is laden in the track program, and you could tell that. You know, they've got those great athletes, and in the off-season, it's their track program. Their speedsters, the long-distance runners, the hurdlers, and people like that. You know, your backs and specialty people. Dennis Jones, I understand, is one of the finest track people that you can see in the sprints, in the hurdle, or in the relay.
So it's fourth down now for Cawood. Saylor underneath center, just going to dump it off to Johnson on the left sideline. He is drilled good at about the 41-yard line. David Stevens puts a good lick on him.
Good enough for a Cawood first down.
Yes, it was. Just enough for the first down for the Trojans. That'll keep the clock going here with, or rather stop the clock as they move the chains with 6 minutes, 19 seconds left to go. Well, you know, on your linemen, your offensive and defensive linemen, you got to have those big, strong guys, and I don't think anyone does a better job than Clyde Burchett with his strength program at Corbin High School. But, boy, you need some speed, Philip Russell, in your backfield. You need some speed in those defensive backs.
Linebackers.
And your linebackers have got to have some speed. And a good track program can only help that. Here's Saylor trying to scramble free. His pass is incomplete. up at the 47-yard line.
What a look at that defensive unit right now out on the field for the Red Hounds, which we have two more young men coming in. That's big number 70. Let me give you these stats. Is number 70, Matt Turner, 6'3", 252-pound sophomore. Also coming in for the Red Hounds is number 58, and that is Gary Williams, 6', 170-pound sophomore. So now you're looking at also in there is the punt returner man, number 62, Ryan Kelly, at 6'2", 208, sophomore.
And Saylor looks things over and calls for the timeout. With 6:14 left to go in the football game, it's 44-13 Corbin. We'll take a break and be right back. We'll try to get you some updated scores here from Frank, too, and we'll have those for you when we return to Cawood High. This Red Hound football on the sports leader, WCTT.
There's a town in western New Mexico where the people are known for their opinions. So we went to Gallup to find out which fast food deal these folks like best.
By a margin of 10-1, I like the Car Hop Combo at Sonic.
After a random sampling, I chose the Car Hop Combo.
They told us they like the home-cooked taste of Sonic's Car Hop Combo. A famous Sonic burger, fries, and a medium drink. Right now, just $2.49.
Qualitatively speaking, it's awesome.
We've got a new player into the game also, Dave. It looks like pretty much the JVs are in there now. And that's Jason Baker, defensive end, 6', 186-pound sophomore. Let me tell you what these sophomores are like. Got a 186-pounder, a 252-pounder, a 200-pounder, a 220-pounder. Let's see, a 208-pounder. Those are sophomores.
Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome measurements for sophomores in high school. Here's Saylor rolling the throw. He's got his man Johnson again.
That time threw into great double coverage that time, and Johnson was able to come back in between the linebacker.
Roman Cassidy on the pop that time.
Absolutely, right in front of Mondo Sima, or behind Mondo, and in front of Roman and Dennis Jones.
Inside Corbin territory, down to the 46-yard line. As Cawood continues to work on that passing attack, which is something I'm sure that a lot of teams will be seeing a lot of this year. They got some good receivers on this football team and a quarterback that can get them the football.
Well, they're not just your basic ground attack, Cawood. They haven't been with the Saylor team.
Big eye formation there behind the quarterback. Saylor gets it to Curtis. Corbin player had him by the jersey, but he breaks free and goes down to the 42-yard line.
Coming up the line of scrimmage off that pile is number 70, Matt Turner, on the stop. All 6'3", 252 pounds of him, sophomore.
That'll bring him now second down, 7. For the Trojans.
I tell you somebody you might want to watch here, and some of them, if they can watch it Sunday night, watch number 62 out there, Ryan Kelly. Look at his speed and look at his strength. He's playing this defensive tackle.
A lot of adjustments being made on offense here by Cawood. Out of the shotgun, Saylor to throw. Boy, Kelly's right after him. Oh, he creams him, too, as he lets it go. He's got a man down there, and that's pass interference on Corbin. No doubt about it, but you just mentioned Ryan Kelly as Saylor gets up slowly. Just as Saylor let that ball go, Kelly
tattooed him,
as you call it, pancaked him.
He pancaked him pretty good that time. And,
but we did have pass interference on the Corbin player.
You think it was? We got 2 flags on the field. Do you think that was pass interference?
Yeah, I think it was. I think the Cawood player had the beat on the ball.
I think if you want to teach pass interference, that's the way you teach it. You know? I mean, Dennis Jones pretty well did a good job on him that time. He had blanket coverage so much that the blanket fell off of him. Pushed him out of bounds as the ball went.
But he stuck his feet into the guy's feet.
Well, I was noting, though, the officials, everyone, I think, on the field saw that play. Even the head linesman up here.
Well, even when I see it, it's pretty obvious when I can pick it out. So we got a first down for Cawood. That moves the football down to the 27-yard line. Clock down now to 4:53. Stopped after the penalty. Oh, lots of pressure coming at Saylor. He screens it off there to Johnson, though. Johnson cutting his way down to the 20, down to the 15, down to the 10, down to the 5. Touchdown. for the Cawood Trojans. Number 26 on the carry that time, Brett Johnson. He took it on the screen, just jitterbugged his way through the Corbin defense and picks up the TD to make it a 44-20 game.
That's Johnson's second touchdown of the game. He had a 45-yarder to start off the second quarter, or the third quarter of at the 11:21 mark. Here at the 4:41, he scores again on a screen. Now, once again, you could see it set up just perfect.
Corbin, of course, on their way to the win here. They lead 44-20, but Cawood has put 20 points on the board here in the second half. They were down 35-0 at halftime. Saylor on the quarterback bootleg and takes it in for the two-point conversion, and it's 44-22. We'll take a break and be right back, and Cawood will kick away to the Hounds when we return. This Red Hound football and the sports leader, WCTT.
No matter what the part, foreign or domestic, see Harold or Kenny at Davis Salvage. Why pay top dollar for new parts when good used parts can do the job? If Davis Salvage doesn't have the part you need, they'll help you find your parts on the nationwide locator service. Phone Davis Salvage at 528-3951 or toll free at 1-800-442-7876. Davis Salvage on the Falls Highway in Corbin.
What?
Well, it was number 26, Brett Johnson, on the reception on the screen. And takes it how many yards?
28.
28 yards.
Watch the goal. Onside kick.
No doubt. Two-point conversion was good.
Oh, yep.
And we got a 44-22 football game. Corbin on top.
You think they're going to telegraph it?
I think so.
Watch this side right here now.
All the Cawood players are lined up all the way over on the right sideline.
I've always wondered, Dave, I want you to look at this. You got 9 over there if you kicked it back here this way.
And it's going to be, it's loose. It's loose. Cawood might get on that one.
It's going to be close. Here comes the fight now at the bottom of the pile. Who's going to be the strongest? Either the red jersey or the white jersey?
A Corbin player and a Cawood player both got there at about the same time. They'll have to unpile them to see who's got the football down at the bottom, and Cawood recovers that onside kick. I think Michael Crowley was the person that first, if I wasn't mistaken, had a hand on it, bounced off his hands, and Cawood was able to get it, so they'll get the football here at the 45-yard line.
Hey, that's not going to make Coach Adams very pleased at all in the special teams. And, you know,
in a close game, in a closer game, that could be disastrous.
Here we are at the 4:34 mark in the fourth quarter. Yes, we are 22 points ahead, 44-22. But the thing about it is you don't want to let down too much. And what has Coach Adams done? I think he's brought in the defensive starters are back into the game.
Clock shows now 4 minutes, 20 seconds. Cawood. First down and 10 from the 45-yard line. They're on 45. Middleton, the little guy, comes in motion. Shotgun for Saylor. He's got some pressure. He gets by that. Now he's hit from behind, and down he goes. Big number 75 on the stop.
Andy Robertson, that sophomore defensive tackle, coming in to make the stop.
6 foot, 253.
253. Sophomore. Another one of those young, talented crop of sophomores. Sophomore class, this junior class is a talented bunch. And, of course, the seniors are the leaders out there with Shane Creekmore and Dwayne Evans and Yance and Patrick McCowan, Jones.
No gain on the play, no loss on the play either. So it's now 2nd and 10 from the 45-yard line. Saylor straight shotgun this time, looks over the middle, fires, caught. Up at the 45-yard line. Once again, that's his favorite target. Mr. Brett Johnson there to make the catch. Very close. Well, I think it probably is enough for the Cawood first down. And they'll move the change here with 3:27 to go in the football game.
Dave, I don't know if I've lost, some of them got caught up here in this second half, but I've got Cawood for 9 first downs and Corbin for 3.
That's probably about right.
Yeah.
Corbin just hasn't had offensively the football a lot. Cawood has controlled. If they could have started out the football, get the game this way,
it's been a different game.
It'd be a different story for sure. Here's Saylor again. He's going to let it fly. He's got Middleton, but he overthrows him down at the 30. But really, most coaches, they don't, they don't like to start out in the shotgun and, and having double wideouts and stuff like that. They like to line up and see what they can do with you on the lines.
We'll get it established. I mean, your passing game is only as good as your run game. I don't care what anybody says. You know, you've got to have a running attack, or if not, they'll bring up 10 people on the line of scrimmage on you, as we have seen some teams do in the past. And you know,
I think Danville does everybody that way.
Oh, they play everybody.
Whether you can run or pass, or
it doesn't matter.
That's just their
with
philosophy.
The speed they got, they'll bring 10 up on the line of scrimmage, and
they know they can still cover you back there anyway. Here's Saylor once again out of the shotgun, throwing on second down, and it is going to be caught at the 40-yard line for a gain of around 5 yards. Number 88, Ben Lovely on the reception.
He's the sophomore punter, I believe, and I take the kicker.
Okay, Cawood's going to call for a timeout here with 2:53 to go in the football game. It's 44-22, Corbin on top. Let's take us a break. We'll be right back. This is Red Hound Football on Southeast Kentucky Sports Leader, WCTT.
At First National Bank of Corbin, there's a good reason we're the strongest financial institution in the region. Complete dedication to serving our customers and delivering quality financial products for your checking, car, boat, and home loan needs. First National customers know they can expect innovative products. Look to First National Bank of Corbin for all your needs, because when it comes to banking, we're at your service.
You know, on that pass play there, David, Lovely showed excellent concentration. He was in double coverage, and Saylor led him just perfect. And, you know, to go up, he knew he was going to be hit. He was going across the middle, and he brought the ball in well.
Yeah, and I didn't think he was going to be able to catch that football, Phil, because he kind of had to twist in the air. And like you say, he knew that pressure was coming, but did a nice job of hanging in there and making the catch. Saylor was down to the shotgun, working off the right hash, third down and about 6 here. He's looking, a little screenplay again. This time it's going to be taken by Smith. Smith is at the 30. That's enough for the first down, and gets pushed down to around the 27-yard line. Well, that play has worked well for
that screen has worked every time they've tried to run it. That time David Stevens had to come from the far side to make the stop, along with the lookalike John David Myers from his nose guard position. But the screen has been set up really well this evening by Cawood.
Of course, time, the biggest enemy of the Trojans. They only have 2 minutes and 37 seconds left to go in the football game, and they're down here by 3 TDs.
Well, I told you
they have on the second half.
Yes, I told you the second half that Coach Saylor wouldn't have him lay down.
Here's Saylor. He's got his man Johnson heading for the sideline. He's got him. No, knocked down by David Jones right at the last second.
Dennis Jones did an excellent recovery job that time, Dave, in recovering on that.
Well, we talked about, we do have a flag on the play, too. Might have a late hit on the quarterback. As Saylor got up a little bit slowly, Corbin might have hit him late.
Corbin PD to K97, 656.
Yeah, I believe it is. Personal foul.
Yeah, that's it. Saylor got hit hard, and the official says it was after the play, so that's going to
automatic first
move
down.
Those chains down there and give Cawood the first down. And move the football all the way down to about the 14-yard line. So with 2:23 to go, it's 44-22, Corbin on top, but Cawood threatening here. There's the snap to Saylor. Fakes the handoff. Now he's going to throw. Got a man heading for the end zone. Incomplete. He was open.
Yes, he was.
I don't have him on my roster here. New player just came in, number 30.
No, I don't have it over here either. Yeah, we got caught. I thought we was going to be able to get through this game and know them all.
I've not made many where someone didn't change jerseys right before kickoff or something.
Well, as 30 comes out and 44 goes back in. I believe you've got 44, don't you? Yes, that's Conley. Conley.
Well, anyway, the pass was dropped. That's going to bring up now a second down and 10 from the 14-yard line for Cawood. Showing double wideouts to the left side. The I formation lines up behind Saylor. He's not in the shotgun this time around. Underneath center for the snap. Takes the snap and rolls to the left. Getting lots of pressure. Lots of pressure. Avoids the pressure. Now he ducks and throws. It is knocked down in the end zone. Body wasn't even moving around. As Cawood goes for 2, and this is going to be completed also. Number 20, Howard Scott catches the two-point conversion, and we got a 44-30 football game with 2:04 to go.
Hey, it ain't over.
We get another one of those onside kicks that Corbin gave up a while ago, and things could get a bit more than a tad interesting here.
I tell you what, there's a 2-touchdown lead right now. Now, you know, hey, what's that field goal looking like right now that Gus Hauser kicked, the 26-yarder?
Right.
Looking strong right now. So the Hounds are going to have to pick it back. Well, we're going to have the football. Cawood in the second half has 13 first downs to Corbin's 3. And Corbin just hadn't had the football. It's just been play control. We fumbled the ball once, twice here in the second half.
Well, if Corbin can recover this onside kick here, as Cawood once again lines up with 9 people over on the right sideline and 2 in the middle.
You know what I've always...
One of those, of course, to kick it.
You're right. I've always wondered why. I mean, what about if they kick the ball over here to this side real quick and let this guy here catch it? You talking about catching somebody off guard? Of course, now...
Good question. You might have to have a crooked foot to do that.
It didn't go.
And I don't know if they made it 10 yards or not. Probably not. It went from the 40 and didn't make it up to the 50.
Hounds will take over on about the Cawood 48.
So the Cawoods, Trojans fighting back here. 30 points in this half. Corbin has managed 9. Red Hounds do lead 44-30, but 2:02 to go. You probably think this thing would be in the bag, but you really have to think that Cawood has really fought back. Played very well here in this second half. As Eddie Barton in at quarterback, hands off to the... I think that was a tailback. Bargo for a couple. Clock goes down now to 1:40.
It's only the third carry of the second half for Matt Bargo for 6 yards, and in the first half, Matthew had 106 yards.
So Corbin back up on the line, second down and 8. Clock shows a minute 20. Goes off to Chris Hammock. Dives into the defense. Ball is loose, but Corbin does recover. Boy, I think they recovered. It looked like maybe...
Yes.
Crowley had it, but it squirted loose and was finally picked up under there by... Well, I couldn't catch that number there. 59, I think, which would be Shane Creekmore. I think fell on the football. Anyway, third down and about 7 down for the Hounds. Clock under a minute. Down to 55 seconds.
Well, I'm sure Coach Adams is going to have a heart-to-heart with them this week on the second half of this game. I mean, the first half was textbook Corbin football, you know, smash mouth, good, hard-nosed football. And in the second half, they just come out and just...
Yeah, and you can't fault the offense either, Philip. It's been the defense's problem here in the second half. Handoff goes to Bargo. He gets a couple of yards. That'll bring up fourth down for Corbin. Cawood signaling for the timeout. 24 seconds to go. Coming up after the game, so as we can, because we're a long way from home, we'll talk with Corbin assistant football coach Willard Ferris.
A long way from the Corbin here in the mountains of Harlan County.
Yeah, you know, the ride-up is nice. You ride up here and you're anticipating the football game, and everything's hunky-dory. You probably have eaten. Feel pretty good. On the way home, though, you're getting hungry, you're getting tired.
It's a long day.
You don't have the game to look forward to on the way home, and it's
hey, let me ask you a question.
Trip on the way back.
UK U of L. What you got?
Boy, I don't know. You know, Kentucky, I just never can bring myself to predict about the Cats one way or another. I just can't.
This is football, right?
As Eddie Barton's going to keep around to the right side.
Got a little running room.
Got enough for the first down. They chase him out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. That'll stop the clock with 14 seconds, but it does give Corbin the first down. I really feel that the Cats are going to win.
Oh, I do, too.
I really feel that Kentucky's going to be a good football team this year.
I do, too. I mean, you know, with the backs that, with Mo Williams and, you know, the backs that the Cats have back there, you know, they're even saying maybe this may be the last year Mo Williams is at Kentucky. He may go hardship and go pro next season. Now, you never know, but it's good to see Corey on that offensive line at tight end.
Yeah, Corey's got a lot of attention, too.
Yes.
He's been in the papers a lot. He's been written about a lot, and he deserves that. He's done his time at Kentucky. Got a flag on the play here as Corbin carries down to the 25. But, of course, the Cats, they have that question mark like Corbin had here as quarterback.
Can
They're going to
Speedy
have someone
quarterback
come in there and
Jeff
play
Speedy.
the quarterback for him.
I'm anxious to see Speedy. You know, we watched him play last year, and
gosh, it's like the pros. You know, you see some of these guys like, now you know Jeff Speedy can quarterback, Antonio Farrell can quarterback. The guys weren't that good in high school as flukes, and sometimes I watch these pros when the backup quarterback comes in, and he couldn't hit the side of a barn with a football, and you think, what happened to this guy? Where did they get him? He was a college All-American. He was a college superstar, and now he gets in the pros. And just because he is the backup, he can't hit a barn with a football. It has to be in the mind, really.
it is a mind game. You know, athletics is a mind game. It's any active baseball, basketball, football, soccer, whatever it may be. It's all a lot of it is a mind game. It's how you sit, it's how you prepare, and so you know, we got a perfect example of this in the second half of these Hounds. Hounds are young. Okay, here in the second half, and the thing about it is on the defensive side, we've got some seniors out there and a few juniors, but the thing about it is you know, they hadn't had football.
Right. Only 5 seconds left to go. Corbin, well, they didn't start the clock there, but now they're going to start the clock. That's going to end the football game, and the Hounds win it here by a final score of 44-30. Hang around now. We'll have a quick chat. We'll run through the stats, have a quick chat with Corbin assistant coach Willard Ferris, and we'll wrap it up here from Cawood High School as the Hounds go to 1-1 on the year with a 44-30 victory over the Trojans of Cawood. It's Dave Keene saying we'll be right back here on your sports leader in Southeast Kentucky, WCTT.
Since 1908, Catalyst Coal has been serving Southeast Kentucky with a tradition of quality, with an employment of